Wrong headset. What am I doing? Johnny Cash. The man comes around. Man comes around. Man is coming around. I can change my head. Each sip and each sup. Will you partake of that ignorant cup or disappear into the potter's ground? Johnny Cash. Good morning, everybody. The man is coming around. He is coming around. And I got some thoughts here today, this morning. Got to be careful what you say now, because you on watch. They can put you on watch. They done sent us to our room. It's like mama get upset. You need some veggies, send you to your room. You gotta go to your room. The whole world now got just sent to their room. The whole world got sent to their room by governments with big corporations that were debilitating the immune system, and now people can't heal themselves. They have no herd immunity because they trusted the people talking about herd immunity. You feel isolated? I feel isolated. But you know what? Not necessarily, because all hippies is in style and hippies is sexy. All hippies is sexy right now. Oh, the audio's on, right? Hillary, we good? Deborah Chandler, is the audio on? I feel like I got sent to my room by the people poisoning me. Does anybody else feel like that? The people getting big money from corporations and pharmaceutical companies and drug companies and chemical companies and candy companies and sugar companies. Everybody turning off your immune system. They just sent you to your room. Y'all need to go to your room. Okay, the audio's good now. Mad human disease. Got to be careful what you say though, because they're deleting videos left and right. Oh, it's the video deleting apocalypse. They say we aren't even gonna use people to delete the videos no more. We got so many videos we need to. Everybody making videos now. Dr. Greger making videos. All the Corbett making video. Everybody's making videos. Me, I'm do my best and I get in trouble. The hippies are in style again. Yes, they are. Oh, they go to faces. Who's that? Who giving me faces? I love the faces on BK. Yeah, no, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't send a skirt face. Do not be scared. Listen, some people done told us about this. People done told us about this a long time ago. Let me get rid of these immune boosting fruits and veggies. Let me get rid of this. Some people done told us about this a long time ago. If you don't eat what you're supposed to eat, you will be in trouble when bacteria comes along. That's the man in the Johnny Cash song in this current episode of Human. I love faces. When the man comes around, you better call that hippie, y'all. You need to break, because you know what? Every family has a hippie. Everyone, every single one of them does. And y'all been ignorant with them for the longest time and sent them away, didn't listen to them, didn't talk to them, didn't read the books they sent you, gave you at Christmas. You didn't do nothing. They'd come over, you'd make like a little section for the hippie food. Y'all didn't want to eat the hippie food. Oh no, you needed the beef and steak and shrimp, chicken and eggs and grease, dairy and cheese, everything to get that immune system trouble. And now we got chronic illnesses all over the nation. And in Italy, oh, who sent me that video? They said 90% of everybody getting the cuckoo flu as a chronic illness. Does anybody see any connections here? Is anybody paying attention with, we told about this a long time ago. You need to find that person who's isolated in your family and give them a phone call. You need to send them some love because you isolated them. They don't even want to live around you no more because you was cultivating the worst diseases on the planet. And now we have no herd immunity because you trusted the people who talk about herd immunity, not the hippies. So you need to get you some salads, you need to get you some greens, some carrots, some deep leafy greens. You need to eat raw as much as you can. I want to talk about how do you boost the immune system. I'm trying to be helpful here. That's all I can do is try to be helpful. Who's that, Christine? Christine, well, no, not that Christine, the other Christine Law said we should talk about the banks. I'm like, Christine, I don't want to talk about the banks. That shit done kind of sailed. It's a little too late for talking about how we got here, right? We can talk about it, but the problem is we can't do nothing about it. Like this ship is gonna be what it's gonna be now. We paid the price. Now we gotta pay the piper. All we can do is save who we can, live healthy, eat healthy, You know, act how you do during the flu. Distance yourself best that you can. Mama done sent us to our room. We didn't eat our deep leafy greens. Grandmama turned over in her grave. We didn't live ignorant for a long time. Now the man coming around, and people are dying. Yes, they are. And we're gonna make it worse. We are gonna make it worse. That's because that's what we do. That's what we haven't changed it. We haven't changed the system that did this. So we are gonna make it worse. And you think the worst is coming? You ain't seen the worst yet, baby. You have not seen the worst. It's gonna get worse because what are we doing with the sanctions in Iran? Obama started them. Trump is gonna pull through and do exactly what he's supposed to do. He's gonna sanction those people in Iran. They're gonna let that virus keep cultivating, let it keep percolating, let it keep mutating, because that's all the virus wants. All the virus really wants, all that bacteria wants, is a time of people that are dumb enough to let big corporations run their government and give it a chance to be in as millions and millions, if not billions of people possible, learn how to, because it's trying to learn how to live in the human body, right? It's not trying to kill you, it's just trying to learn how to live in you. It's got to take down your defenses to do that. That's your immune system. And every now and then you'll have one that's just going to get too good at it. That's how you made the Spanish flu. The correlations, I was watching a video this morning, they were talking about the correlations between the Spanish flu, now everybody's getting a little concerned, and the cuckoo flu. The correlations, Allied powers and NATO powers. Correlations, war and poverty, not sharing technology, being ignorant. Those are the correlations. The rest of them you don't have to worry about. You got epidemiologists and scientists that worry about the other correlation. The only correlation you got to worry about is how we use war, profit, power, capital to make it worse, because that's what they're doing. And it's going to come on back over here. The Spanish flu killed off 27% of the human population. I bet we can top it. I bet we can. Because we didn't have a big pharmaceutical industry back then. We didn't have big chemical companies. We didn't have big sugar. We didn't have big cheese, big dairy, big meat. We didn't have that. We didn't have big war. Oh, they sucked when they made the Spanish flu. I bet you they might get 40% of us. I think they might. All right, so everybody, break open your hippie. This is what you need to do in your family. You need to go find that person you've been ignorant to for the longest time, and you need to ask them what you need supposed to do. That's all I'm gonna say. And in my particular family, that person is me. I'd go there at Thanksgiving like, oh, they got Gerard food. It's in the corner. He doesn't eat this and he doesn't eat that. All right, I'm gonna be positive. We're being isolated like it's mad cow disease. Hang on, where's my fruits and veggies at? Where's my human food at? Not fruits and veggies, just human food. Where's the human food at? I'm gonna try to be positive. Be positive, best that I can. Where's that human food at? I had the human food picture. Is it this one? Nope. Oh, that's not human food. Hang on. I have to go through my pictures. Let me remove this. Come on, everybody. We just got sent to our room in Pennsylvania. We in total lockdown, total shutdown. Nope, that's not human food neither. Let me delete that. Isolating everybody. Let me see. Nope, that's not human food. That's when he was going balding. But that's a good hint too. You stressed out going balding? That's gonna give you the cuckoo flu. And by cuckoo flu, what do I mean? What I mean, the cuckoo flu has nothing to do with any current flu nor virus. The cuckoo flu. If we are cuckoo as a species, we're gonna make all kind of flu. Yep, ready to go. Some people ready to go and they eating the meals like they ready to go. They're still eating processed and frozen foods. Let me get rid of that, hang on. I had me some human food. I just had a picture. Here you go, right here. Here you go. Want a hit? Here you go. That right here. Eat this. Let's get rid of the mad human disease. Because every disease that becomes a pandemic needs help. And it got to help. It's like the mad cow disease. Let's get rid of that. I need something happy. Let me find something happy. Oh, you know what? No, never mind. Forget it. I'm not doing happy. I want to do two things. Have y'all seen the movie The Happening? Did y'all do your homework? You ain't got nothing else to do. You should watch the movie The Happening. Because people have seen this coming. Y'all remember this portion in the movie? People saw this coming, just nobody listened to them. The Happening. A time where people be so ignorant that they'd kill themselves. I'm gonna do a spoiler alert because I told y'all to watch it a long time ago. This is when people lost their damn minds and they wanted to kill themselves. So what did they do? They trusted every commercial that was on television. And they took every single drug that their chemist, who used to be a healer, told them to take. and eventually they killed themselves. That's how that works. All right, let me pull up the video and get started. How's everybody doing? Y'all doing good this morning? Who is that over there? Russia Connects. Exactly. Voluntary simplicity. Low maintenance lifestyles. Keep it simple, Russia Connects. Keep it simple. George Carlin say? He said it all. He said every last drop of it. He said it's a big club and your ignorant politicians ain't in. Now the big corporations poisoning you, debilitating your immune system, they got access to the big club. The politicians do not. All right, there we go. Good morning. Trump is a socialized psychopath. He is, but so is Obama. But you know what, Russia Connects? I don't know if you're in Russia, if you're here. We all are, to a degree. We all cray, because this simulation is crazy. This simulation is insanity. So I don't really talk about anyone from that perspective. I try to simply say that the system is insane. If we don't change the system, we all gonna die. Good morning, good morning. Hopefully everybody's eating healthy. I think there's some very common sense rules that we need to follow. One, you need to open up that case of hippie. Open up that, break the seal. Break the seal on the person you isolated that told you to stop eating baked goods and frozen food section as a staple in diet. Number one, break open that bag, take that hippie out, give him a phone call, text him, apologize for the couple decades of being ignorant, getting rid of your immune system now that this thing is spreading across the world. But it ain't the only one. Cuckoo flu been around a long time. Cuckoo flu is a lot of things. Cancer's a cuckoo flu, right? We could have got rid of cancer. We didn't want to. Cardiovascular disease, that's another cuckoo flu. We got rid of that. We didn't get rid of that. Cuckoo viruses. We develop viruses because we've created industries whose profit model is keeping you sick or making you sick. And we keep those industries and we wonder, why do people get sick? Why are people dying? Because we're cuckoo. We are cuckoo as a species. We lost our ever-loving minds. Eat as much raw food as you can, people. Eat leafy greens, dark colors, purples. Get it in your mouth. Eat it as raw as possible, as much as you can get. All right? Drink lots of water. Stay out of contact with people. Don't let other people prepare your food if it's raw. Right? You limit that. This is the time not to be lazy. It's convenient sometimes for some people got them families, got one person go prepare everybody's food. This is the time for woman freedom. Need to let mama go. Let mama prepare her food, you prepare yours. Cover your mouth when you cough. Put your face in your shirt. Wash your hands. Do all the things that don't cause mad cow disease and mad human disease. When you're watching television because you ain't got nothing else to do, ignore every damn thing you see in the commercials. Everything, all of it. All of it is designed to make you sick. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Hillary. Went out and back in several times. That's all most Americans do, Hillary, because they got sent to their room. Did y'all get sent to your room in Russia? The corporations poisoning people realize that, oh, this thing is getting out of hand. Maybe we shouldn't have killed off the immune systems of all the humans in our herd. They destroyed herd immunity as a profit model. And they're like, nope, go to your room. Don't come out. So Americans, you can step out on your porch and got to go back in. Step out. I think they let you go to the grocery store for food. Medical people can be on the road. That's it. They didn't shut it down. They realized their slave plantation, they did too good a job. They did too good a job. Everybody. See, it's okay if you just depopulating and just one or few people like get in front of that lawnmower, order them Twinkies, eating fried foods, eating cheese for breakfast every damn day and bacon. It's one thing if only a few people do it and you make a lot of profit from it. Apparently, they get a little scared when the vast majority of your population is got chronic illnesses and on medications that are the most at-risk groups. It's a real time. It's a real serious time. It's a real serious time. We got cuckoo viruses, cuckoo diseases as a model in civilization, which is why we are completely uncivilized. All right, good morning. What about a lovely day, blue skies and sunny warm weather? Hey, Christine, it's actually nice here. The clouds are nice and fluffy. I'm not seeing any of those long straight clouds of lithium or coal ash. Whatever people say is up there, aluminum. I'm not seeing those. Very few airplanes in the sky. I'm breathing well. Oh, speaking of breathing, so Rand Paul, apparently he is concerned, released a statement. He's got Part of his lung they had to remove, I guess, for a surgery a while ago. And so he's in that high risk group. You got part of your lung removed. That's an issue. It is an issue. People to people, not elites. Absolutely, Russia connects. The elites are good to go. They got bunkers all over this world. All the elites in Russia, China, India, America, Britain, Canada, they all gonna get together on that airplane, go to Antarctica if it's really bad. If not, they'll just go to the bunkers in the countries that we paid for. This is the problem with being ignorant. This is the problem. People are ignoring it. In the countryside here, fun. In the countryside, Christine doesn't really have to worry, because people usually when you move to the country, you're already an isolationist. You're not really, you're not excited by people. And so life hasn't changed there. But in the big cities, life is significantly different. Suburbia, where I live, life is different. Out in the country, you're doing the human things. You're getting out, getting fresh air. You're taking care of your farm. You're getting your cold crops in. Good morning. A moment of silence for our bank accounts. Hillary, what is wrong with you? See, now this is the problem. That's fear-mongering, Hillary. That's fear-mongering. I know. Well, oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, yeah, you talking about drumming up more fear. Or they're going to have that bank holiday, readjust the currencies, and they get you that digital currency. But it's not like the hippie didn't tell you that neither. Every family has one hippie been telling you this for a long time. If you're going to invest, you need to invest in some solar panels, invest in some seeds, buy some land. People who have land don't die. People who have fresh air don't die. Invest in important things, not Wall Street. Not Wall Street. Hillary, I know you're right. That's why I'm laughing, because it's funny. It's not funny and it's funny both at the same time. But my whole life is investment. I know you shouldn't invest in war and slavery and big corporations that turn off humans' immunity and make a business model out of it so that, well, the farmers are doing pretty well. I've got invested in the right stocks. Yeah, that's going to come back and bite us. And guess what? It's coming back and it's biting the hell out of us. Now we got issues. Because now this thing done spread all over the world. And it's percolating in people who don't have immune systems. So it's not staying there for a day. It's not staying there for 2 weeks. It's not staying there for 4 days. It's sticking around, and that thing's cultivated. And unfortunately, I like history, Hillary, and I look back at history and it's just like, yeah, this is not good. It's not good. I don't think it's version 1.0 that gets us, but it's percolating. We're keeping the wars going. We got the Cold War going. We're starving. Iran still ramping up sanctions in poor countries. Let that virus just sit around and percolate and duck in and out of human cells and learn how to survive in Bolivia, Venezuela, anywhere you want to steal something. Keep that war industrial complex and poverty industrial and prison industrial. Keep that thing going, debilitating immune systems, and eventually it's going to come back and bite the hell out of us. But that's what's supposed to happen to ignorant species. Everything else is learning how to survive. Everything else is trying to figure out, how do I live in such horrible times? I was watching the other thing. Did y'all see the aquatic wolves? What the freak? Even the wolves know what to do. They're learning how to be more aquatic than on land. They're out there swimming, eating fish is what they do. We done killed off the ecosystem where they get food from, so they're learning how to thrive in the water. They got bears they're calling aquatic bears now. And bacteria does the same thing. Everything learns how to evolve and adapt to the situation. I was watching Saj Guru yet. Oh boy, he had nothing nice to say to y'all. He had nothing nice to say. He just said, you know, and again, not speaking as a scientist, just speaking as somebody with some common damn sense. Everything learns how to evolve and adapt. We've killed off the majority of flora and fauna on this planet. We've killed off those mammals, so you got a lot of bacteria and got nowhere to live but us. And that was his point, which was deep as the ocean. If you have less species out there for these mammal-centric bacteria pathogens to live in, if there's no lamb, if there's less wolves, less bears, less cows, less deer, less things for them to live in, where are they gonna go? They're gonna be homeless? Does bacteria do homeless? Do they do that? Do they do they do homeless, or do they try to figure out a new species to thrive in? From the numbers, the math, and biology. It's just how it works. You don't have to be an educated person to see that. You're gonna have more and more bacteria figuring out how to live in the human body because it has nowhere else to go. And it's more humans on the planet, less everything else. We got some real serious things to think about. Your best friend is not your dog, okay? It's not man's best friend. It ain't damn sure ain't woman's best friend either. Your best friend is your immune system. That's all you got. That's all you got. Your immune system is your best friend. Without that, you need to be in a bubble or you're going to be dead in a few days. That's all you got. All right, anyway. I'm sorry, Hillary. In the bank account, I know it's gonna be pennies on the dollar, Hillary. Pennies on the dollar. They did happen at the Great Depression. Nobody's paying attention. Told you take that money out. Take that money out, because now they're gonna settle the new currency. And this is what Christine Law was talking about. They're going to settle the new currency, make a deal all around the world with all the different currencies, what you got, what your resources, how much you have. You got the pharmaceutical industry, you got this, you got lithium, you got battery, minerals, magnets, okay, rare earth magnets, you got this. All right, so here's what the valuation of what you had in your old currency to this new digital currency. It might be 60% on the dollar, 40% of your lifelong savings. Boop. That's how it goes. We want to keep banks around. It's up to the banks. And all of this stuff is global. But my point to Ms. Laws was that, hey, but once you got the fear going, once you got the pandemonium, once you own all the resources and the people are scared, they're going to do anything that you want. It's like a dog. Right? You got a dog that's sick and mangy and it's starving. It's going to do anything the master tells it to do. So as far as us stopping this digital currency, it's too late. That ship done sailed. It's way out there in the ocean. That ship done sailed. People gonna go whatever deal that they're given next. All you can do right now is strengthen your body, try to get strong again. Crack open that seal for the hippie in your family and learn. How do you get strong again? The vast majority of my country it got chronic illnesses. They need doctors and drugs just to get up in the morning and stay alive. You got to get off of that. But the problem is that you can't get off of some of these chemicals. You got to get off of them slow. So you got to have that conversation with your doctor. I need to get off of this. Can I? And let the doctor. And unfortunately, when I talk to people and I say, hey, listen, you need to live naturally. I'm mostly talking to people who don't have chronic illnesses. Once you got an illness, you can heal that yourself. Once you got a chronic illness, it means you've had an illness for so long that you need chemicals to keep your body from dying. A lot of these drugs, you can't just stop. You have to come down off of them slow. Should have listened a long time ago. You need to get you a naturopathic doctor and figure out how to slowly back down from these things and ramp up a biological lifestyle, eating real food. I just said deposit 200 cash. Hillary, get that out. Get you some solar panels. Earth laughs and flowers. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Yeah, it does. But not in the happening. In the happening, Lori, the flowers was murdering people. The flowers want to live too, like the bacteria. Everything learns how to survive. If you don't fit in the ecosystem, you will be ecoed out of the system. And that can happen to us if we don't actually evolve. Keep on meeting the neighbors. So nice. Good times to learn and know your neighbors better. It is a good time for the whole world to come together, Christine. It's time for the whole world to come together and learn to scam. At the local level, you got to start. This whole world was a fantasy scam. You can't eat Snicker bars, Twinkies, Mike and Ike's, baked and fried food, cakes and pies, and think you're going to keep your immune system and bacteria and going to learn how to murder you. It's time for the whole world to wake up and go back to the old teachings. Good morning, Kimberly Jackson. Christine, we got 8 inches of snow yesterday and it's cloudy. That's not a good sign, Kimberly. We need warm weather to beat this stuff back. We need the people to get outside. Exercise is another part. It's not just eating healthy and raw. It's drinking plenty of water. And I say eat healthy raw. Go back to eating what we ate evolving, not what we've developed the cultures and technologies to eat. More of it, the better. And you got to run. You got to walk. You got to hop, skip, jump. The human body's supposed to be in motion. It's never supposed to be sedentary. That's another ignorant thing, right? Because you sit on your butt all day. You sit in a corporate office. They literally orchestrated and constructed a society to kill everybody. Then you got the stress of sitting in the office. Now you're stressed at the office, sitting on your butt all day. You go home, what do you want? You want chocolate. You want ice cream. Turning off the immune system. I pinch myself. Who was I telling this? My brother Dave or somebody. I was telling you, I pinch myself every single morning. I'm pinching myself every day. I can't believe this is real. I cannot believe that this is the real world. I think I'm asleep. I think I'm sleeping. This is a dream. None of this makes any. It's crazy. It's crazy that we've letting it got to this level. Pinch myself every morning. I know I'm in a nightmare. I know I am. I was asleep and I had that ice cream before dinner. And it makes you a little gassy, give you nightmares. Most docs won't have that conversation. No, they won't, Hillary, because the majority of doctors aren't actually doctors. They're chemical sales representatives, but you do have a lot of doctors who know. They just don't say. You gotta know them personally. There are a lot of moderate doctors out there who've been in the game long enough who realize that it's a game. And they'll tell you behind the scenes, this is what you're supposed to do, but most won't do that. Because they got that standard care and practice model. They kind of explained it to me. That basically, if they don't give you the chemical that Big Pharma tells you through the AMA that you have to take, and you die or get sick, you can sue them for malpractice, and they'll lose their license. So most doctors won't say anything. We've literally set up a scam of a complete model. So most doctors won't, but you need to keep moving till you find one that does. My recommendation, Hillary, to everybody is that they need to find a doctor. Like if you need to switch your doctor, you got a chemist, you have a chemist, not a healer. When you look up your new doctor, you want to find a practice that's attached to a naturopathic medical program. There are a lot of them now. Family medicine, they're attached. They have an herbalist on staff. They got naturopathic licensed doctors on staff. And you need to have that conversation. Listen, I don't want to take statins my entire life. What can you do to help me to get off of this, right? And they'll help you. You got to make that statement, but you cannot stop it overnight. You'll end up killing yourself. What the heck is going on with the thing here? I'm trying to figure out, my screen keeps going there. So there are a lot of good things, but people have to start to realize the scam and start changing their behavior. And sleep is important too. Sleep is important too, but people can't sleep because they're all stressed out at work. That's why I like all of this work together is a perfect storm. All the stress and job, slavery, pretending to be a career, hating your work, all the divorce rate going up, kids spread around because you don't have enough finances and the government actually isn't providing enough. They're locking up the resource and artificially planned obsolescence. So you're drinking and smoking and eating junk food and it debilitates your immune system and these flus come through and you had an ignorant society, ignorant-based society, and wipes everybody out. This is where we are. This is where we are. And mandatory vaccines are coming all over. It's a guarantee, Christine. Somebody be at your door. It's going to be mandatory. I'm hoping it doesn't go that way, Christine. I'm hoping that they try to keep that as a profit model too, and the government says they're not going to pay for it. And so it's an optional thing where people go stand in line to get them and pay for them. Not the old people, not the people with chronic illnesses, whatever. I haven't had the flu, Christine, in over a decade. I have no interest in any of their ideas of what healthy is. I'm already healthy. I have no idea from sick people what being healthy is. I have no interest in a conversation about immunity to people who have immune systems that don't work, whether they got a doctor's degree, a pen, a pad, a jacket, whatever. That's me. Because again, I haven't been sick in 10 years. My body beat the flu. It'll beat this flu, maybe. Depends on how long it learns to mutate in humans. We've starved people into mutating these viruses and making the perfect ecosystem in home form with no defenses, barely any defenses. And so, but even me, that cuckoo virus can come get me. Oh, it just needs to spend enough time in the right person and mutate the right way. And it'll murder me. But for the most part, I'm not interested in what they think because I've already solved. I'm already light years ahead of most doctors. Like most doctors I know, they get sick. So I'm not interested in reverting my body back to a de-evolved state before it had a very proficient immune system. Herd immunity is making sure that you are teaching what immunity is, real immunity. Herd immunity is having a populace full of citizens with boosted immune systems. not a population full of slaves that you starve into stressful jobs and chemicals to just get up in the morning. That's herd immunity. Herd immunity is looking out for people. Herd immunity is not starving until you get them to work harder. Positive attitudes boost the immune system. They do, Lori. That's the other thing that the hippies figured out. Everybody needs to rip open that bag of hippie. They used to play the happy, telling jokes, singing around the fire. All those things help. Yeah, the breast milk, Kimberly, that's another one. Right there, you got Infamil. They got to make billions. They got stock prices and investors that they have to make happy. So you get them to not drink their mother's breast milk. And we literally have that going. You know, we're not too far. If we don't all die, we're not too far from like required mothers to feed their children synthetic Infamil and other milks. We're not too far from that. That's what when you have a police state, they can do anything they want. So absolutely positive attitudes. How many here are in the elderly and disabled category? I am. Just want G to know his real audience. Well, you know what? Deborah Chandler, I've always hung with old people. Not old people, because that's not the right word. I've always hung with people who are wiser than I am. I like that. I like being around people who have more experience than I do. I've only got 29 years of experience on this planet. I don't want to hang around anybody else that's 29, Deborah, because they're ignorant. I want to hang around people who've been here for a minute. They've done some studies and research and experienced things. And it doesn't mean that they know more than I do. It just means they have a lot of experience. 29 years of experience isn't enough. I mean, I'm not saying anything if you're 29. I'm saying, because people at 29 know things I don't as well. But people who are 58, people who are 72, people who are 89, they know a hell of a lot. They've seen a hell of a lot more than I have. So I've always hung around old people. I've never hung around people my age. People my age drive me insane, Deborah. I want people who are wise, so I can become wise to some degree. Oh my goodness, he said breast milk. Look out, no, Patricia, you ain't going down that avenue. That's not going to happen. My childhood friend is pulling out the COVID, I gotta say cuckoo virus. I can't say that, Dan, because they're deleting videos left and right. My childhood friend is pulling out the cuckoo virus. She lost 30% of her lung function, and she's still alive and hanging in there. I'm glad to hear that, Daniel. I know someone who died. Well, I have a friend who knows someone who died now. So no, people are dying. It's real. It's real, you know. Like Daniel, I don't think you were here yesterday. We were talking about it yesterday. I had a friend of mine say, yeah, you think like Trump does. He thinks it's a hoax. And it's like, all right, listen, I'm saying that bacteria need a place to live. We got two political parties and who created a model that went worldwide in turning off people's immune system, because people with immune systems or debilitated immune systems are more profitable. Right? If you can sell them trash and chemicals in food, then you can make a lot of money. Right? But real food is free. It grows under the sun and rain drops on it and you eat it. We've been eating that stuff for millions of years, all the stuff behind me. But you want to sell somebody Twinkies and Kit Kats, then you have to hide a lot of studies. You can't tell them what sugar does, right? And so, you know, my stance has always been, listen, bacteria wants to kill you and it's weak. It can't do that. It needs time, energy, space, and the ability to sit in millions of humans for a very long time to have a good chance of mutating to learn how to murder off the human race. It needs a NATO. It needs an allied power. It needs somebody to empower it. It needs a pharmaceutical industry. It needs a chemical companies. It needs lawn sprayers. It needs people spraying mosquitoes in the air with DDT. It needs really ignorant psychopathic leaders and a model based on making people sick to become a Spanish flu. So my stance has always been version 1.0. I'm not worried about. My body's got 1.0 down packed. I am a hippie. I eat healthy. But version 2.0, version 3.0, sanctioning Iran into making it even stronger. You know, letting Mexico stay impoverished, right? Helping Colombia stay impoverished and not trying to help homeless people on the street, cultivating more. That's all the bacteria does. It wants to learn to work in someone, and if it ever gets strong enough, it'll kill all of us. Doesn't matter how hippie you are. Doesn't matter how much fruits and vegetables you need. All it takes is one little piece that sits inside of one little homeless, starved person in Iran or San Francisco or LA or Mexico City to become the next Black Plague. Murder off 27% of the human race. Ignorant species are supposed to die, unfortunately. They are. We are in a disaster movie. Stay safe, everyone. Absolutely, we are in a disaster movie. Russia Connects. We are in a disaster. We're in a nightmare. We're in a nightmare. The shame is we chose this nightmare. That's the shame. It's like me. If I eat ice cream and go to sleep, I'm gonna have all kind of dreams and nightmares and everything. Probably have some gas too while I'm asleep. So yeah, I choose that, and I wake up the next morning like, damn it, why did I eat ice cream? What the hell's wrong with me? Now we have industries that do that to people. Oh yeah, Doc looks at me with the fluoride stare. Jonathan Close. The last time I saw a doctor, Jonathan Close, was about, well, it wasn't even me, it was my son. The last time I took him for a wellness checkup was about 15 years ago, maybe. And the doctor, she was over there coughing and sneezing, and Jonathan Close, and I think she had a cigarette or something. I'm not sure because it was that long ago. And sometimes my mind makes up stuff, Jonathan. It puts a little sugar on on the story. And I'm coming in and I'm healthy. She's sick. My son is healthy. He's just getting a checkup so he could play a sport or whatever it was. And she's like checking him up and questioning me about health. Well, what are you guys eating? Are you getting your protein and stuff like that? And I said, Doc, I'm a vegetarian. We're vegetarian. And she kind of gave me this look. She done gave me the fluoride stare. And I'm like, you sitting there, got snot in your nose and crust on the side of your mouth and a cigarette in the jar, and you gonna question me on health? I haven't been sick and I don't know when. Because this is when I first had gotten started. And I realized that getting colds and flus isn't normal. That's the sign of a weakened immune system. And we've built basically an industry that makes people feel like it's normal to get sick. And now they can put CVS and drugstores on every single corner. So yeah, she gave me that fluoride stare, and she said, well, your body needs protein. I'm like, you sick, disgusting, disease cultivating, non-healing chemical. I didn't say none of that. John, that was in my head. It was in my head. My grandmama taught me that things don't come up should always come out. So I didn't say that. I didn't say it. I said, okay, Doc, can you finish whatever you're doing? She said, you need to eat more protein. And I'm just sitting here back, it's like, protein come from the sun, you non-reading, the remedial. Let me stop, because that's hate speech. I'm gonna get deleted. That's why I ain't on Facebook now. I can't do it. You can't talk like an adult on there. It's like sometimes you got to use a colorful metaphor too. I don't go as colorful some of my friends as Tony is on the thread. I don't get as colorful as some of my friends, but sometimes you got to tell people how stupid they are. Because we are ignorant. We're all ignorant, and we need friends that will tell us what. Trust me, my friend, this is why I do this. Because when I say something stupid, my friend's like, that's dumb, right? That ain't make no damn sense. Because that's what you do when you love people. So I tried to tell her how much I loved her, that she's ignorant, that all protein comes from the sun and the leaves get it first, and they create fruits and vegetables. You're supposed to eat that, get the first access to it, but then the other animals eat that, and the other animals eat the animals. And I like to go to the root. I like the source. I weaned myself off of antidepressants. What? Years ago. Just one less for a few days. Just take one less for a few days. Then you know what, Lori? And I'll let you say, Lori's a nurse. You can say that. I don't practice medicine on YouTube without a license. I ain't got no license. I just tell people that you're a human being. You're not supposed to be taking chemicals on a regular basis. And if anybody tells you that you're going to take this chemical the rest of your life, you need to get a second opinion. You need to go to the Mayo Clinic, the Cleveland Clinic, the doctors who are ahead of the doctors, not the family practices, but those who specialize in chronic illnesses. Because that's what they're trying to tell you, is you have a chronic illness where they got to give you their drug the rest of your life. Go to the experts. And then get yourself a naturopathic doctor. If they all say, nope, you ain't never getting off of it, statin or whatever it is, find yourself a naturopathic doctor that's licensed. Talk to other people who've gotten off of it, and proceed as the naturopathic doctor who's licensed tell you. I'm very careful what I say. I got to be very careful. Somebody watching me. No, somebody's watching me for hate speech and practicing medicine without a license. No, I practice human, and you don't need no license. You just need deep leafy greens, some seeds, some dirt, sunlight, and a little bit of common sense. Maybe some critical thought. That helps too. Lori is a wonderful friend. Yeah, Lori she's a wonderful friend. She did that right there. So what you do is, if you need to get off of that, you need to talk to her. But it's just we've lost our connection to common sense. We just watch commercials and we do what they tell us to do. And we've created this apocalyptic situation where we have human beings that viruses easily spread and live within. Yep, when I tell my sister her 401k is toast, she says, I'm living in a different world. Okay, we'll see which world is left for her. Well, Deborah, it's an important learning lesson. People need to learn. Deborah Chandler, she hadn't heard, sometimes we got to learn hard lessons. Otherwise, we don't really learn. In the Great Depression, they learned some hard lessons. They had that bank holiday and they came back. Some people lost every damn thing. But now we have a central banks. Everybody won't lose everything. Well, it'll be a percentage. Right. And Deborah Chandler, if she ever opens her eyes, I would send her to Creature from Jekyll Island. I have her read that book, and I would let her realize that our world is owned and controlled by banks. Politicians have no say in what actually happens. It's a big club, the politicians ain't in it, and the banks decide what is the value of your currency. Since 1913, we print away 98% of our value. So we've been stupid. So literally 98% of the value of the dollar is gone. I'm not sure how that will end up in terms of a digital currency globally. No, and I'm not in that club and none of the politicians are. You can only guess. But right off the bat, you could say if things not being changed, then that means people with $100 in the bank, we're going to have $2 when they flip it out into the new digital currency. But I don't think that'll work. Deborah Chandler, like when I went to business school, they have so many things like the invisible hand and all this stuff that they come with, economics and how it all works. I think it all depends on one, what family or what holding company or massive mega corporate cabal elite group wins this struggle for the world, whichever one. Some people think this is about a cuckoo virus. I don't. I think it's about global economics. Because that's why they're shutting down all the world's currencies to collapse all the world's economies and markets so they can devalue what they need to. I think whoever wins Deborah Chandler is going to sit back. And if they are heavily vested in like AI and robotics and battery life, like linked to the lithium, they'll value the currency, the digital currency that they give the countries that have the most lithium, like Bolivia, the highest valuation. Right? Like some of them, their currency will go up. I think to look at the resources you have and how it will apply to the world they want to build. If you've got a military, you got people willing to fight and die and parents willing to send their little babies and girls off to be cowboys in another nation, robbing them for oil or whatever, then they might value a little higher. If you got resources, breadbasket, you're developing food, if you got a police state, I think all these things feed into evaluation because that's what I would do. That's what I would do in that world. Like you're going to give the value in digital currency to the nations that you need in the world you want to build. Now, if your nation is full of sick people with chronic illnesses, overweight, dying, where little simple cuckoo flus come through and kill everybody, they spent 98% of the value at Starbucks, stealing minerals and resources from around the world, I'd probably value a little low because you need people. You would want a nation with a strong immune system to fight the wars that you need them to fight. But that's what I would do, Deborah Chandler. I would say just you need to go look up Creature from Jekyll Island and realize current money and power make the world go round, not hopes, wishes, 401ks, politicians, political parties, or any of that nonsense. Money and power, that's it. Learning the zone, stretching beyond our comfort zone. Yes, Jennifer, but people love their comfort zone. They love the sofa and they love to pretend that they're right. People love to do that. People love to pretend that they're right. So I just, all you can do is give people the information and walk away. Deborah Chandler, she doesn't think that anything you say is right. And when it happens, she will come knocking at your door. Then take one. take one every other. Oh, okay, Lori's giving you the means for getting off it. Okay, very good, very good. Yep, when I tell her, my sister, okay, boo, 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 boo. Okay, we're gonna standard care is like Common Core math. It's useless. I agree with you, Hillary. It's useless. We need to have a multi-approach, diversified, doctoral healing doctors of a medical system. Right? We need to have different doctors taking different approaches and the best bubbles to the top, like an education system. I got a 24-hour ban on Facebook for the first time. Oh, for a meme of politicians with their heads up their butts as a definition for politics. See, Susan, this is not hate speech. And this is what I love. When some of the nicest, kindest people who are educated, read books, and critically think like Susan Jewell get Facebook banned, you know Facebook isn't what they say it is. That's why I'm not really over there. I'll post a few things here and there because I seen Susan on VK. Susan and I start talking on VK. Appreciate that, Susan. You start to realize that, yeah, I'm in it with the bad guys. I'm helping people who I shouldn't be helping. And so I'm spending a little time with it. First time I got banned, I was upset, Susan. Second time I got banned, I didn't like it. Then people started questioning, well, if you got this hippie dude like love everybody and says jokes in between, he's getting banned, then maybe something really is going on. Right? And people started to do their education, realized that I keep messing up their name. Like Global Alliance, whatever their name is, that NATO organization is actually controlling what's true and false on Facebook and who gets banned and who doesn't get banned. And plus the advertising dollars. And if you put something out there that talks against their politicians that are starving people all over the world, blowing up nations, and caring that they care about the cuckoo flu while they're cultivating it in Iran, giving them sanctions, if you post anything against their actors, because the world is a stage, you get a ban. By the time I got my third ban, I got upset, Susan. I didn't like it no more. It's like, all right, now y'all saying I'm hate speeching, and this is getting serious now. I know you got a childish platform, and last time was it for me. I was like, okay, I get it. If saving people and trying to help people is hate speech, I need to let you go on with your platform. So I bounce back and forth. Like I said, I'm there to post Tony's videos and post Ty's videos. But it's not a platform for grown-ups. It's not a platform for saving anything because they'll never let you get far enough to do any good enough to help people. And plus they set people up for failure over there too. So I'm not against it. I have no real issues with Facebook. It's just the model that forces Facebook to not be a MySpace. I'm not that interested in. Right now, the greatest dragoons on the internet right now are the people who are over on their Facebook. Yo, Lolamar Pop, what's going on, VK? Sorry I'm late. Messing around with these three cowards on Facebook. Forgot about the time. Yeah, Tony, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let me see. Ever good for you. People are getting banned because we cost them money. Yep, that's what it is, Tony. In many ways. One, you've got people questioning the narrative. People are starting to question the model of the world, creating weak, stupid, ignorant people with information, mass media, and turning off their immune system with about 100 different industries through television commercials. They're costing them money, and they don't like that. And so what they're going to do is they're going to start shutting it down more and more. They got to build a fake world. They got to build a fake matrix and phony people with phony immune systems that will do anything that they want them to do, that will quake and shiver anytime the flu comes through. And I'm not quaking nor shivering. I know people, once again, I'm now aware of people who are dying. I'm not quaking or shivering. The cuckoo flu, like I said, killed my father, and it was a different one. It's always cuckoo flu. It's something that we keep around and we help to become powerful to murder people. So I'm not interested in anyone's cuckoo flu or their cuckoo virus because we have a cuckoo civilization with cuckoo models from massive corporations that need to all go away. That's right, reduce fear. There can be no fear, Lord. You can't fear anything but fear itself. No fear here either. You can't have fear. That's how they control people. And that's why, that was my point to Sister Christine Laws, was that the ship has already sailed for digital currency. That ship has already sailed. We built this world. Right now is the time for people to get strong. You get strong through your body, your mind, your community, where you'll have some say in the future. Live in peace. That's what you have to do, Lori. Everything in nature is based in balance and peace. It's insane how much power we've given them over us. We have, Kimberly, but we've been scared. They convinced us to be scared of white people. They convinced us to be scared of immigrants and black people. They convinced us to be scared of Muslims and Russians. And it's always based in fear. And that's the big thing with Facebook now, is that you had all these people who thought Russia edited their election. I can imagine they just sit back in the room and they just make this stuff up and people swallow it up and put Facebook on the stand. You put Mark Zuckerberg out there and tried to embarrass him in front of the world. And he said, okay, all right, y'all did this to me, huh? Okay, y'all coming after me? You'll see what happens next. And now we're seeing what's happening next. I wish I could articulate things in a loving manner like GK. You do, Tony. You articulate things in a loving manner to a different type of person who needs to hear things a different way. Not everybody. Some people, they can't hear me. Some folks, they love everybody. All this hippie stuff, they can't hear that, Tony. They need somebody to get on there and tell them exactly how much of a moron they're being, or their ears stay shut. Everyone's given a gift. Tony has a gift for cussing people out. He got that gift. He got the gift. He got the gift and he uses it. I like hearing Tony cuss. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I can't stand me cussing. I don't cuss. But Tony get out there and tell you how stupid you're being. I'm like, yeah, Tony, I'm being stupid. You're right. You're right. I need to cut it out. You make us feel secure when you tell us we're all God. I know, right, Lori? When he starts saying that you're gods, I'm like, I'm a God. Keep reminding me. Sometimes I'm thinking I keep falling back in that 98% monkey thing. I'm like, no, Tony said I was a God. That's right. Why am I worried about this stuff? You know, the placebo effect is real, and that you manifest your own world. You manifest your environment. All the gurus say it. Tony says it. And we need that. Sometimes you need to be around very intelligent, smart people that remind you, don't fall into ignorance, right? Don't fall too down that slave path. Absolutely. 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 I'm a little scared, but it's healthy because I can sense danger coming, but no fear, because I know trust after the turmoil, the trust and light will emerge, creating a beautiful, peaceful world. Absolutely. I'm a little scared, but it's healthy. And that's not that, no, because fear and scare go together. You're not scared, Susan Jewell, because you're here running your mouth. You're not scared. I know you. You're not scared. You're sensing danger. That's what it is. That's all it is. You're not scared. You don't have that fear. You sense danger. And that's, you know, that's power. The intellect and the ability to say that is bad. That's a bear. That's a bear. Don't just keep walking toward a bear. You know that. Then you got the majority society without immune systems that are still walking to the bear. They got all that frozen pizza and Kit Kats and Snickers and crackers and everything during their food run. Something's coming through killing everybody that doesn't have an immune system, so they rush to the grocery store to get everything that kills immune systems. Because they watch television commercials. That's like running at the bear. Like, oh, a bear is charging me. I'm going to run at the bear. Now, there's a difference between sensing danger and being wise from it than being ignorant and continue to listen to the bear that says, hey, yeah, come on, run over here, dummy. Listening to Big Pharma, yeah, come on over here. I got some more chemicals for you. I done gave you chemicals, shut off your immune system. Yeah, I got some more. It's going to heal you and help you. Come on, keep running. Come on. I'm in bed with the CDC. Come on, keep running. Keep running at the bear. Yes, we bring out our talents to the table. That's all we can do. Bring your talents to the table. The things you know, speak on. The things you don't, guess on, but let everybody know that you're guessing. Only speak to your experiences, and one of my experiences is living healthy. I know how to live healthy. Been doing it a long time. I don't know what a cold flu, cuckoo flu, or none of that stuff is. I will call my job a career, but then I'd have to kill myself. Jim at the office. Season 1. Yes, you've been binge watching. Hey, hon, thank you for that. Jim was off the hook. Jim will tell you the truth. You know, and it's just, I used to call my job a career. I used to call my career a career. And I realize now, hey, hon, it was all slavery. I was a slave and I was cheering my own insanity. I realized that because they gave me a pretty decent salary. You know, I thought I was successful. Hey, hon, I had no idea what success was. I was a fool. I was ignorant. And I did everything the commercials and that big pharmaceutical corporation I worked for told me to. And it did the damage it was supposed to. And the most damage was done to me, hey, hon. My biggest education lesson was, I guess about a year after my father died of one of the cuckoo flus. And I looked down, and this is why I caught, part of why I caught the cuckoo flu. I looked down at one of his medications. I was going through all of his stuff. And of course, one of his medications was from the corporation I worked for, the big pharmaceutical company. And I looked at this and I said, wow, this is why these people paid me all this money. This is exactly why these people paid me all this money, all this time. Because they're off killing people. They're off there trying to keep people alive, selling them drugs that's not healing them. They literally have a model based in keeping sick people with debilitated immune systems alive until the cuckoo flu comes through and murders them. And that was my education. That's when I looked at it and I said, I realize I get it now. I'm cuckoo. I get it. I get my insanity. I understand why nobody gives you a big salary for nothing. Nobody lets you work from home for nothing. They give you a big salary, let you work from home. There's a fix. There's a fix on. There's some sort of deceit. And at that point, I loved it. It was a great day because then I realized I'm complicit in all of this. At that point, I understood consent. Well, no, understand is too strong. I didn't understand it. But I realized that I consent to a system that needs to be slashed and burned into the ground. And that's why I call it the cuckoo flu. I helped kill my father with the cuckoo flu, and I helped kill everybody else with the cuckoo flu. And even after I left Big Pharma, it doesn't really matter. I got a bank account. I'm still helping kill everybody with the cuckoo flu. I turn on my television. They make money from advertising, selling candy and drugs and all these things that are turning off immune systems and keeping people just barely alive, lifelong, to sell them drugs. And so I realized, damn, we all sell out. We just sold out. We're all sellers. Like my brother texted me this morning. We were talking about Bill Gates. I think my brother's starting to wake up. He's starting to see a little bit of the light. And he's talking about some Bill Gates TED Talk or something. I was like, Bill Gates is a war criminal. All right, he believes in that religion that starts with V. He's been spreading it all over the world. Reports came back from Africa, Latin America, and the prison system where they were hiding things inside of the forced injections that were making them infertile and killing people. That man is a war criminal. That man should be under the prison. And he said, yeah, I get it. Yeah, he's pretty bad. I was like, yeah, he took up the Rockefellers' eugenics system. You need to look it up. And he says, yeah, but you buy Microsoft products too. I was like, why do you think I've been telling you? And I was like, listen, I'm tired of repeating myself. We are all sellouts. If you are in a NATO country, a NATO ally, you are pushing for extinction in almost every way. You don't have a choice. They built a society based in the unsustainable requirement that extinction be the end of the society. All you can do is reduce how much you consent and ask other people, we need to stop consenting, right? There are those who want to end Babylon. There are those who want to take down Rome. And then there are those who are trying to cheer and keep it up. And the vast majority are cheering and trying to keep it up because they're sitting at home watching television, waiting on government to come save them. And I'm like, no, or they're debating. They're debating about which Roman is saving them best, which political party. And they're getting it. Because that's the only discussion that like they're critiquing politics. We literally have a super flu coming through to murder everybody. Learn how to 1.0. Nope, I didn't get them. 2.0, I'm getting more of them. 3.0 is mutating and learning in people who eat things that big corporations took the money and bought the politicians to be on TV to tell you that they're gonna come save you. And now all y'all doing is critiquing about who's saving you the best. Which of the heroes and underoos and the superheroes, the adult heroes, gonna come save you the best? And they're critiquing it. Nah, he didn't save us better than somebody else. The other party's gonna save us better because he didn't act quick enough. He didn't act fast enough. And I'm just like, oh, we all gonna die. Why do you think that's my hashtag? That's not mine. It's just, we've been saying we all gonna die a long time. We all gonna die. Cause you eating frozen pizza and Tic Tacs and aspartame, watching your politicians who got the money from the Tic Tacs, the aspartame, and the fried foods coming to save you with the corporation that's a chemical company that's injecting you with what, is going to save you from the problems they gave you. We all gonna die. Oh yes, Lori, and they're hoarding toilet paper. This is why I laugh all the time, because I can't get too serious. Like, how do you take a species like this seriously, Lori? How do you do that? I can't do it. I cannot take these people seriously. This is it's total insanity. Like somebody was telling, Tony was talking the other day and said, yeah, people think I'm crazy. And I was sitting back there laughing and snickering while I was planting seeds. And I was like, Tony, you crazy as hell, bro. You crazy. You are crazy. They don't think you crazy. They know you crazy. You crazy because they were given a fantasy world based in lies. And anyone who speaks to nature, ecosystem, sustainability, free yourself, or you're some sort of a quantum physics, wave, energy, vibrational creature, God thing, sitting inside of a monkey that needs to eat right things or it dies. How crazy did that say? Hell yeah, you crazy. What do you mean, Tony? You mean broccoli helps you fight disease? Man, shut up. You need to watch more TV. Tony crazy as hell. He trying to say food is medicine. What the hell is wrong with him? Trying to say we're gods and greater things God did, we gonna do. What kind of nonsense is that? I ain't never seen nobody fly and heal themselves. I've never seen anybody touch the hem of somebody's garment. So I just laugh at it. We all cray. Daniel, we cray. You know, and the people the craziest in an insane time are probably the ones that are sliding towards some sort of sanity. The indictments are coming out soon. Sheepless in Seattle, sister. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I don't. I go back. I know I go back and forth. I know. I believe Q 80% of the time. Then I didn't believe Q at all. Now I believe Q. I live in that space. Sheepless in Seattle. That I've never seen a king nor lord come save no poor child in any squalor, flea bottom, trailer park ghetto. I've never seen any kings and lords give two damns about children. I haven't seen politicians do it, let alone the kings and lords at the top that we don't even know. I've never seen them do it in history. I have no examples of any kings coming to save us. I don't believe that Donald Trump is coming to save us. I don't think he is. And I don't think Feinstein's coming to save us neither, because they together. You see that? Y'all saw that, right? Did y'all see the interview? I saw it. I saw 20 seconds. The 20 seconds where they were questioning him on how he was acting and during the cuckoo flu breakout and or one of the cuckoo flu breaks out. I need to clarify, they're all cuckoo flus. These are all things that don't have to exist. We help them. And they asked him, say, well, what about the Republicans who are selling the stock and telling everybody everything was fine, but they were selling all their stock? And he said truthful things. He said, well, first of all, you only mention the Democrats. No, you only mention the Republicans. The Democrats were selling it too. And he said, oh, but Feinstein is a trustworthy person. I trust her and I love her and blah, 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 blah. We kiss and smooch sometimes in the background. No, he didn't say that part. But, you know, he like got her back and he stood up for a politician who was selling stock while in the travel industry and things related to stability, while they were telling the American people, oh, everything's okay, keep shopping, keep buying, oh, go on out, you have some fun, you have a party. They're all working together. They're all working together. And it doesn't mean that Trump is a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think Bernie's a bad guy. I don't think Feinstein, I don't think any of them. I think there are people in the system. But I've never seen somebody stand up against a global elite to stop child trafficking. The global elite apparently like child trafficking. They apparently are like psychopathy, and they get bored and they do crazy things because it makes them feel like they're alive and they're psychopaths on the spectrum. I've never seen, the only stupid people who actually who stood up to them, not stupid, ignorant, was JFK, Martin Luther King, John Lennon, and they all got one thing in common. You stand up to this global elite, you're gonna be singing with the fishes. You're gonna be talking to, what's that dude's name they put under all that concrete? And they still ain't find the body. They still ain't find that body. Is it, well, who was it? Who they put under concrete? The mob put him under. They put him so deep under some stadium in concrete, they just can't even find the body. The only people who truly standing up to this globe, no good deed goes unpunished, okay? If Trump was actually trying to stop human trafficking, he'd already be gone. Hoffa, that's who it is, Patricia House, Hoffa. You're gonna be having coffee with Hoffa. You actually stand up. These people apparently love their dark ways. And so, no, I think even if Trump wanted to stand up, I think he's too smart. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. He would not. I'm going to be in Trump is smart space for a minute. Trump is smart and intelligent. He is not stupid enough to stand up to global powers at a time where people with real power in the real big clubs are killing each other and trying to decide who owns what nation. They're probably just rolling dice, probably in a big dark room, got about 200 people who own sectors and industries and resources, just rolling dice. Who wants America? Who wants America? Crapped out. Dang it, don't get America. I want Russia. You know, they're like really giving their bets. They're trying to determine who owns what regions and continents, you know, and then they got this big bet at the top of who gets to own the digital currency. You know, that's how the world really works. That's how the world works. So I'm not interested in politics. I agree with Lori. You know, let's stop with the Trump, please. Because the problem is when you start with the Trump, then they start with the Bernie. And then they go, and then it goes back and forth. And it's just, we should be past politics. We literally have a piece of bacteria that's trying to murder you. Maybe you should focus on that. Just kind of focus on that a little bit, just a little bit. So yeah, it's just, the politics, that's dead. That's so gone. But they're doing anything they can to get people to tune in. Like they're doing anything they can to convince people that their lords and kings are coming to save them. On both sides. It's not just the Trump side, it's the other side too. They're trying to convince everybody that it's a good idea to keep a system that needs to be burned, buried, and turned into some ashes and be grown in a fig tree. Which reminds me, I'm not gonna be here too long. I had to take my fig tree outside. I got my lantanas, I got my papayas, I've got my citrus, I've got everything. I've planted thousands of seeds this year. Because we got people to feed. We got people to feed, y'all. That's important. I can affect that. I have no effect. I mean, you know what? Let's go back for a minute. Let's say that he's saving the kids. Well, let him save the kids then. Let's say he's ending child trafficking. Let's let him do that. But that's like an episode of General Hospital or Falcon Crest or Days of Our Lives, because I have no input. I have no say. They're not giving me a gun, a knife, some tissue to go out there and save nobody. They're not giving me nothing. They're not giving me a tank or a Humvee. They're not putting me in charge of a group to go out and arrest people. If it's gonna happen, it's got nothing to do with me. I can't help nobody arrest nobody. I hope it's happening, but it's got nothing to do with me. I can be most effective not watching their show, but most effective helping the people in my neighborhood who need help. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not, you know, I hope everybody's side is right. I hope all the kings and lords and underoos is coming to save us. I hope Dianne Feinstein just swoops in with a cape and some tights. And I'm looking the other way. I hope all of that happens. I don't think it's gonna happen because it's never happened since I've been here. And I've been here for a whole 29 years. Okay? I hope that happens. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think instead of like drumming up like political fights and conspiracy fights and stuff, I think we just let all that go. I think we focus on the fact that people are going to die. I think we focus on the fact that our neighbors aren't gonna have jobs and kids are gonna starve. You hear what I'm saying? So hopefully Trump does. I hope he does. I'm on Q 105. Q 100%. I'm Q 100%. I hope Q gets out there with Trump and they do all of that stuff. That has nothing to do with what I need to do. It has nothing to do with what I need to do. I can only affect things on the local level. That's my focus, Sheeples. That's my focus. Positive attitudes boost the immune system. Yes, Lori, and so does laugh. People need to watch comedy. Don't watch news 24/7. They're trying to drum up more fear to get you to do something else or believe something else. Watch comedy, get outside, till your yard, start planting seeds, piss off your township. The butterflies, the pollinators, and the bees, they need your help this year. I can do that too. I can help them. I can help them a lot. So yeah, but yeah, you know, and Deborah, and that's the other thing. I'm gonna get back to Deborah's comment from earlier. You know, how many of the elderly and disabled, or how many of the elderly and disabled category watch? I don't know, Deborah, but the fact that people who are older than I am at the age of 32, it is an honor. It's an honor. I can't explain the honor that I feel having people who are older than me. Twice my age. Some of them 60 years old, Deborah Chandler. I actually think I have something important to say. And that's why I take this seriously. I joke and we have fun, but I take this seriously, right? Because it's that category that's being killed off by the ignorant youth. The ignorant youth eating Twinkies and Ho-Hos and asking for universal health care, they're the ones where this disease is cultivating and giving it to the elderly. They're giving it to our seniors. And that's the problem, right? And this is why we say, I used to post all these crazy pictures, Deborah Chandler, Deborah C, we got a lot of Debs here, of smoothies. And I would say, this is my health care. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, this is my universal health care. Yeah, I want bacon and eggs. I want you think I want to drink a smoothie for breakfast every damn morning? Not right now, I don't know. I want some bacon, some eggs, some grits with some cheese. That's what I want. But I got an obligation. I have an obligation to my neighbors. I got an obligation to the elders. I got an obligation to the seniors. I got obligations to my mama. And yesterday we talked about the obligations I have to every child in my neighborhood to do what's right. And what's right is not eating what's in the commercials. What's right is not eating Fruit Loops for breakfast. What's right is eating Fruit Loops for dessert. Okay? Because that's what they are. And that's what I do. I want some Fruity Pebbles. I do. I want them so bad. But I've earned it. I'm healthy and I'm not getting old people killed. I'm not getting babies killed. I'm not getting anybody killed. I've taken in-source my universal health care. I eat things that I don't particularly like because I'm supposed to, because I'm part of an ecosystem in a community, and we used to make those sacrifices for each other, but now we don't. Be the example, Tony, and that's what we all did. And don't nobody say nothing about, oh, you're such a good man. Oh, shut up. I love you to death, but shut up with that nonsense. It's the bare bones minimum of what you do when you're part of an ecosystem. You eat what you're supposed to eat, so you're healthy. That's the default status of a human being. Don't cheer nobody's doing what they're supposed to do. Like, yeah, you're supposed to do that, right? Like if you're the fry guy, you're supposed to cook fries. If you're a human, you're supposed to act human. If you're a dad, you're supposed to raise and play with your kids. That's what you're, oh, you're such a good dad. I used to hate that. I used to go to the mall. All right, I'm lying a little bit. I ain't always hated it. Sometimes it depends. I don't know. You get some heels and some tight jeans. You clickety clackety, and seeing that woman, all right. No, I used to hate it. Yeah, I hate it now. I didn't hate it then. I like the attention. I used to take my kids in the mall all the time. I used to pimp them little jokers out. They was cute back then. I put them in the stroller, take them to the mall. Oh, I get to put, oh, he's such a good daddy. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get me some. All right, I'm sorry. I went too far. Go back to being serious. But no, I was doing what I was supposed to do. You're supposed to be a parent. You're supposed to get that mama a break. You a father, ain't seen your kids in months, grow the hell up. Act like you're a father. You a mama, ain't seen your kids in months, grow the hell up. Act like you're a mother, unless you got the cuckoo flu. Don't grow up. Growing up is learning how to eat food. That's learning how to eat. Don't go see them kids now, because they probably got the cuckoo flu. They gonna give it to you. You ain't got no immune system because you watch television commercials. Oh gosh, what's right is using Fruit Loops as for paint thinner. The amount of poison in children's breakfast food is criminal. It is, Susan. And if Trump would listen to me once and Q, they'd go out there and start arresting the General Mills and Kellogg's and the rest of them war criminals, the democide. They need to arrest all of them, because the kids ain't even make it to get to child trafficking ages. They're poisoning them at birth. We need to arrest them. That's what Q need to do. Need to tell me, I don't care that they arrest MS-13. I think you need to go there and arrest the people that created the drug war that created MS-13. Y'all need to go arrest Congress and Senate. That's what I just believe in root cause fixes. I don't like the side effect fixes. I'm not interested in y'all arresting the Bloods and the Crips. They don't scare me. They don't scare me one bit, because y'all ain't in my house at this moment in time. They get in that house and be like a grizzly bear. I'm gonna run the other way. I'm gonna run fast. Skinheads clan, they don't scare me, unless they're in the house. And then I'm gonna poison everybody. Y'all know it's things worse than death. Oh, don't get me go there. Don't get me going. Don't come to my house. Don't do that. Don't do that. I got stuff. It's things worse than death. You can kill me. Oh, you can kill me. But I promise you, you're gonna have some issues in the future. Okay, I'm a herbalist and I ain't all completely hinged. There are things worse than death, and I got them things. All right, leave it at that. Not going any further. Yes, I got home protection, but it does not take you out right away. But in the future, you can like, dang, we done killed that bald brown dude, but the hell is that blue spot? Why am I itching? What the hell did he? What does he? What the hell did he? This thing's worse than death. Listen, I can watch people die slow. Okay? Don't ever mess with no witches. Witches are real. You say, oh, well, that's witchcraft. That ain't even, listen, it's potions and poultices and stuff that I'm not ever gonna mention. Okay? You don't mess with no witches. They bury your drawers in the yard. You can't go outside. Who said that? That was a famous prophet said that. Don't mess with no witches, man. I'm telling you, they burned them at the cross, and it wasn't just because they was healing people. Okay? All right, it's real stuff, real talk. Every plant on this planet learned to create different sets of compounds to do different things. In your federal government, out of 20,000, they stopped about 50. Okay, the rest are legal, and your neighbor's growing in your garden. I'm not sure how we got there. How we get there? Oh yeah, this whole child trafficking thing. So yeah, it's just I'm not, you know, if they really wanted to help, they'd be out there arresting CEOs. If y'all not arresting CEOs, you're not really doing anything. Not really focused on Q. When you start arresting the people that starve people into thinking that the skinheads, the Klan, the white nationalists, the Bloods, the Crips, and MS-13, when you start arresting the people that took babies and made them think it was a good idea to join a gang, when you start arresting them, then you're saying something to me. Until then, to me, it's just another side effect scam. It's just another scam to kind of keep things going. You're the only one that can see when someone highlights your name, no one else. Oh yeah, that's how that works, Citizen Dead. Y'all learn how to use YouTube. Good, because YouTube likes free speech for the moment. I don't think it'll last, but they like free speech for right now. Yeah, well, what you do is you put an @ sign. We didn't do that, did we? Never did how to use YouTube. People just thought I was gonna go back to Facebook. No, I told you, nah, I'm a guy. You know what? There's a guy here by the name of Tony Smith Rant. He says I'm a god. All right. And before he said it, Yeshua Christ said it. Yeah, I don't give God energy to like dark energy, and I'm just a little hesitant at this moment in time. And I'm not telling anybody else to do it. It's just me. It's just me for right now. The spirits, the wave energies, the moon, the coconut stars, quasar, the vril, and Palladians, and the people in the inner earth giving me this feeling that I shouldn't be giving Facebook my energy. So right now it's a self-imposed ban. I got a couple bans on me, but it's a self-imposed ban. I need to just say I'm a hate speecher, because on that platform, trying to help people is hate, right? And that I just don't want to get that energy. I'm a god. You know, oh, well, Facebook ain't gonna care. They ain't gonna notice you. It's not about what they notice. It's about me being a god. Right? You don't get my energy unless I want you to have my energy. I'm bigger than Facebook. You're bigger than Facebook. You're a god, and you put your vibration in places where you feel that you need to. And I just feel right now that they don't need my vibrations. The kids in my community need more of my vibrations than anything else. The elderly need my vibrations. They need me to drink a smoothie and not eat a big chunk of bread and biscuit and Cinnabon for breakfast. So I can cultivate a disease and then take them groceries thinking I'm helping them and leave some cuckoo flu on the bag, and then they get sick and die. There's nothing worse than killing somebody. Ain't nothing worse than being stupid and killing somebody. I'm scared to death because I know I'm a carrier. I know I'm a carrier because I don't ever get sick. I'm being very cautious. Hey, oh, baby, why don't you come say hi? Oh, no, you don't want to be around me. I don't ever get sick. My body deals with stuff. I'm not trying to shed nothing on nobody. All right. Let me move down. Let me get out of here. Oh, you know, let's look at the news. We ain't done that in a minute. We ain't never looked at it. Y'all never let me look at the news no more. We have not looked at the news in forever. Something might happen. Something might be happening. I feel like I have no idea what's happening in the world at this moment in time. Ooh, there go that warning. Yeah, you can't talk about that C word. Or take your video right off. They said they're just going to start deleting videos. Got that warning. They're not even going to check them, read them, watch them, have a human being look at them, because all the humans got sent to their room. They got sent to the room by the police state. They got sent to their room because they was eating all the stuff that was on the television commercials, so they don't have an immune system. So everybody in their room right now can't even go outside and play because they got in trouble with big mama from big corporations that turned off your immune system. Now you're all sick. Where is RT, just in case something important is happening in the world, in the artificial fake world of the Matrix, where they've turned gods into cattle. Mainstream says to be like Korea. What's in Korea, Rhonda? Why does the mainstream want to be like Korea? Or building is shut down for deep clean after a confirmed case. Or building is shut down for deep clean after a confirmed case. Well, both fine. You can make a lot of money doing that. You can make if it makes money, we do it. If it makes money, it is a good idea to do. And shutting down buildings is makes a whole lot of sense, especially if it's a competing industry. And I think a lot of that's happening because they're picking and choosing. Like we got that statement this morning that that only critical businesses are open. Businesses critical to human life. Those are the only businesses and services that are allowed out and open right now. It's like medical industry, food production, farming, police, state, military, and 5G grade school installers. I hate to say it, but there might be some vindication for Patricia Hauser, and she's saying that a long time ago, you know. And that was I think it was California, because they got caught. Everybody off the street. Everybody, unless you're saving lives, feeding people, or installing 5G. There's some hints. There's some hints if they're taken seriously. That's how I know the federal government's not taking any of this seriously. Because they still got war going. They're still starving up more cultivation and mutations of the virus in Iran. They're not serious about none of this. That's why I'm not watching. You need to watch it. Take it seriously. I take the flu seriously. I take bacteria seriously. I take nature seriously. I do not take your government seriously. They lie about everything. And they're lying about this. I don't know what, how deep, how much, where, when. Listen to your local government. You can ignore the federal government. That's my stance. Gerard, do you think this is going to last a long time, this martial law? Hell yes, Tony. That's not even a question. Not even a question. You know why? Because it has nothing to do with the flu. It has to do with the pandemonium. It has to do with the unemployment level. Like they're basically shutting businesses off. They're shutting off entire industries, and they're going to make big time profits off of that. So they're I put it too low. They're shutting off industries. And so long after the cuckoo flu 1.0 steams out as we get into summer, it'll just cultivate in the Iranians and cultivate in the Americans who kind of made it, learning how to become stronger and stronger. You're going to have like a 40-50% unemployment. You will have the military on the streets. You will have martial law because you'll have hungry people. As long as you got hungry people, they'll do anything for that food. So martial law, this is not a temporary thing. This is going to be a requirement because they want to keep their world. They want to keep their systems and their markets going. So they got to get people back to work. But the only way they're going to do that is when you got the guns on the streets. So the military, which is why I'm saying I'm not upset that they're out there. You need that National Guard. I have no issue with the National Guard out there. National Guard is just your brothers, your cousins, your uncles, and friends, and that. They don't work for dark people, but they're going to keep that stability out there. That martial law is going to stand. And I think, Tony, what will happen is we're going to go through like really extreme poverty times. I think we're going to go through really horrible Great Depression type circumstances where people don't have enough food. People are going to be starving to death in their homes, but then it's going to start bringing out the hippie in a lot of people. I think communities will start coming together. People are going to start growing food late in the season. Not when the ball guy told you to do it early on, but they're going to start their tomatoes a little late into the summer, but they might get 1 or 2 tomatoes with some seeds for next year. And a lot of people are going to die. A lot of people are going to die. I don't take the cuckoo flu seriously. I take the systemic model we have that puts the human race at risk so corporations can make massive profits, handing a world to a few powerful people who shouldn't have the power over a potato gun, let alone a rock. And then after that, we kind of stabilize with a 50-60% unemployment. A lot of old folks are going to die. There's a lot of Medicare and things that they need. They're going to be trying to take care of the young, ignorant people instead of the older people who need to be taken care of. They're going to pass away. And then we'll go into fall. And this is when the problem really kicks in. Because listening to the epidemiologists, in which don't even ever ask me to say that, Tony, which is why you take everything I say with a grain of salt and what everybody says, is that flu comes back out when it gets cold, right? Which is why they call it a cold, and why we've called it a cold for a very long time, because we see these things ramping up in the cold. And in the cold, it'll have a chance to do more spreading. That's when we'll find out in the fall going into the winter if there is a 2.0 that's mutated. This is what the doctors are worried about. The ones we should have been listening to from the very beginning. Because the Spanish flu, when it came from, and it wasn't, I think I said Alabama, it came from Kansas, I think it was. The Kansas flu. And it became the Spanish flu on the second time around. And the second time around, it did devastation. This is why I'm talking about immunity today. I'm trying to talk about the things that will help people and boost your immunities. You need to break open that hippie that's in your family that you've been ignoring for a long time because you like eating Fritos. And listen to them. Share the video. Hey, you know what? I heard a fun fact. Did y'all know you can burn Fritos? Wait a minute, which one is it? Is it Cheetos or Fritos? I forgot which one. You can actually light it on fire. It's a doomsday prepper starter thing. Hang on, let me look it up because I got to make sure it's the right one. I think it's Fritos, and people put it in their mouth. They actually put it in their mouth. I think it's called Fritos. Moms put it in their kids' lunches. I think it's fire because you can use them as kindling. You see, fire starting Frito. I think it's Fritos. It's one of these. You put them on fire. And it's like, if this stuff, yeah, it's Fritos. And you wonder why people don't have an immune system. You're literally eating flammable food. So you can use it as kindling. If you get out in the woods and you're trapped, you need to start a fire, you just take out that bag of Fritos. You gotta make sure which American was prepping, has some Fritos, just light it on fire. You can use it for kindling. Light in the rain. And people eat that. All right, let me stop. So yeah, I think it'll last, but I'm not worried with 1.0. My body has learned to fight off the first round of the flu, but it's what's gonna happen after we've sanctioned it into becoming something dangerous. China reopened schools. Yep, China's done with 1.0, Lori. China, they reopened schools, things are coming back online, people out in the streets. So the real story will come out of all the, we need to worry about China. If all that stuff will come out, probably realize that we never really need to worry about China. You just worry about the American lockdown, because if you got a nation that's got a police state, they're ready to deal with your monkey self. China, they don't have a police state. I was never really worried about China. I'm worried about me. I'm worried about my neighbors. All right, we have a police state. Facebook is much easier to interact on. It is, Patricia, that's why I'm not using it. VK is pretty good. It's easy to interact there. And I'm just that energy. The Facebook energy isn't right now. My witches tell me to trust my senses. If somebody asks me, what's that mean you got witches? Well, I got witch friends. Everything. From Wicca to everything. They do the witchcraft, had fire dances and cauldrons and stuff. And some of them just herbalists. But all my witch friends, they say when the energy isn't right, you need to listen to whatever's telling you that the energy isn't right. And the energy isn't right on, it's not right on Facebook right now. Something's just telling me, So even though I love Facebook software, I'm just kind of avoiding it. Except for some jokes. We'll have some jokes here and there, some great posts. Oh, y'all had me crying this morning. Y'all had me crying. I might actually look at it. Y'all had me crying on a few posts this morning. But when the energy isn't right, trust it. Trust your intuition. Will Sasso star in movie about real NBA life? Don't know, don't care. U.S. lawmakers fight over $2 trillion cuckoo virus relief bill. Well, once again, if your government actually was trying to protect you from the cuckoo virus, they'd have wrote the checks the same day they sold the stocks. Okay, just think about it from that perspective. If they actually cared about you, your check would already be spent. You'd have got your check a month ago. They wouldn't have been a talk, wouldn't have been a discussion, no thoughts. If we're here, this is our people, they don't have food, water, they don't have checks. Most of them are already living in an apocalypse. We need to take care of them. day one, they'd have cut the checks. And how this would have went, there would have been no, oh, we're talking about how much and who's going to get it, where it's going to go, how's it going to go there, blah, 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 blah. They would have just wrote the check. They'd, hey, listen, it's going to shut down our economy. These are our people. They're our citizens. We love them very, 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 very much. We're going to write the checks. Just put the money in there. Well, we didn't, and you'd had that one politician in the back that just said, you know what, we need to take care of the candy industry too. Because you know they did that, right? In that the trillions of dollars, they got billions of dollars for the candy industry. Or is that a couple $100 million? I forgot what it was. Don't get me lying. That one politician in the back, well, what about big candy? That's turning off the immune systems of people all over the country. They say, shut up. These are our citizens. They need our help. We're going to write the checks. We'll talk about what we'll do for corporations later. We'll talk about that now. Right now, we're going to get these checks out. So by the time they realize that this is a problem, they're already secure. Right? We're going to go ahead and tell them, nope, nobody's being evicted. No rents. We're suspending all mortgages. We're going to make sure that they're taken care of. We already hired 100,000 drivers for the Amazon people to get their goods out to them because they're going to be in lockdown. We need to make sure that their mental stability and biological is in place. We got the grow facilities that we're starting. We're growing lettuce for everybody and Chinese cabbage. We're putting in money. We're opening up free food. We're taking all this extra land that we, the federal government, stole from all the people, the Native Americans and then the Americans, and we're going to give them all their land back so they can go out there and do CSAs and garden, grow their own food, get outside, get under the sun. We're suspending all slavery, no more modern forced slavery. We're turning off all taxes. We are finally freeing our people because these are our people. We give two damns about them. Okay, that's what a government does. That's what people who are governing, who thinks that they are a part of you and with you in this. Okay, people who debate about who gets the $2 trillion with you. That's called a corruptment. All right, that's not a government. Those are actors and puppets lying, cheating, and stealing, trying to figure out how to disaster capitalize on you being locked in your home and being threatened to have your Netflix cut off because you're not paying a Comcast bill. Okay, most people don't give a damn about you. Got people locked inside their homes now that don't have food, and so the gun stores have lines. That's not being governed. That's being ruled because they own you and they're told what to do with you. Like a mad cow while you're locked in your house like you're a mad cow. Because you're mad. You get mad and you eat GMO corn. All right, the GMO corn syrup that has replaced pure cane is important. Yes, it is, Miss Tree. It is very important because that they say sugar's a carcinogen, right? So that cane sugar, I mean the GMO corn syrup from a couple of different perspectives. One, that's not real corn. Okay, it's not healthy corn. That's hybridized corn. We did that to has more sugars in it to taste more delicious. The Native Americans tell you about real corn. Two is GMO, which means the only reason that you make things GMO so you can spray a bunch of pesticides on them. That also debilitates the immune system, right? Because it damages DNA. Your DNA takes on. Do y'all remember the study of the cows where they were actually their stomach lining bacteria was creating the BT toxin? So now your immune system is fighting that. It's not real corn, got a lot of sugar in it. And then on top of that, you're putting it in everything and making it with processed food. You're not supposed to eat anything in abundance. You're supposed to eat things sparingly in wide diversities. So absolutely, that's turning off people's immune systems. You need to get sugar from all sources, apples and bananas and grapes and cane sugar and corn too. But not in everything, everywhere, so you can trick and fool people into eating Twinkie bars. I don't even know what a Twinkie bar is. I guess it is a bar, isn't it? So it's important. You literally make an industry, and that's one of the industry I include in industries shutting off the immune system. Industries that are helping bacteria become flus and pandemics. And we subsidize them, Ms. Tree. We literally write checks all the time, our government, to corporations that are causing problems with your health, turning down your immunity, giving your immune system other things to fight, and we literally make it free to grow. It's basically free to grow corn in America. Y'all know that, right? No. I mean to say it the right way. It's not free to grow corn in America. It's basically free to grow GMO corn. We pay people to grow what human beings you'll eat because it's cheaper. That's why it's cheaper. Processed food is cheaper. It's because they literally don't have to pay to grow it. They almost get paid to grow it. You understand that? How sick that is? And then it seeps into the water. So now you got the pesticides going in the water. And so now you got the pesticides and glyphosate in the water. Now you're drinking it in. The water company can't process it out, but now you're drinking water, and now you've got, what is it? I said these studies many times. You got all the kids pissing out the 11 popular pesticides, and you got raining glyphosate. Turning off the immune system, creating more cancer, making mega profits to funnel all that money up into a few. So the next time a plague comes through, everybody gets it. Not intentful. That's why I don't think anybody's driving. It's just we're stupid, and we keep industries that make profit on making us weak. It's the craziest thing. Incorporated sovereignty always or comes at the expense of the popular sovereignty. Absolutely both. And Beaufont's another one who says it the right way as well. With Tony, you are gods. You're sovereign. Corporations aren't sovereign. Governments aren't sovereign. Nations aren't sovereign. None of those things are sovereign. They're all systems. They have a purpose. Money, power, greed. The only thing that's sovereign is the human being. Authority is terrorism. It is. There's nobody author of rights over Kimberly Jackson. Anybody who says, I own you, I have rights over you, and I'm going to dictate to you what your rights are, that's a rapist. That's an abuser. That's somebody who's setting up an abusive slave master relationship with you. You can have a government that's not an authority. You can have a facilitatement. You can have an anarchical group of chieftains that think we're all equal, who help guide and direct resources, not those who feel that they have the author of rights over you. All right. All right, I gotta get going at a certain point in time. Oh, what else is in the news? I was looking at the news. Oh, the Olympics. Oh, the Olympics are canceled. Oh, they're closing the Coliseums. Oh, Tokyo 2020 Olympics officially postponed due to the cuckoo virus. Oh, now you don't get to watch people fight and build up tribalism between nations in cages. The Romans would be so sad. Stores are boarded up in the U.S. Capitol, and they should be. They should be, and they are, because they know Americans going to be out there stealing. That's why people's like, oh, it's only going to be 2 weeks. We're going to be back online. Guess what? It's already been 2 weeks for most of us. Just vindication everywhere. Vindication all from the hippies to the conspiracy theorists to the anti-bankers to the anti-elites. Now, it's already been going on 2-3 weeks for some people. Now they said another 2 weeks. And then what Trump said, he said the other day, well, I expect this to be weeks, not months, right? They keep pushing it out. And I'm just saying, listen to what people say, but pay attention to what they do. They've been saying this is for a minute. We're pausing it for a minute. That viruses don't care nothing about you, minute. Viruses in a population of citizens who have basically been poisoned into not having immune systems, they're not on your time schedule. All right, they're not listening to your speeches. They have no respect for your economy and Hershey needing to sell chocolate bars. Okay? They don't really care about that. They need time in you to learn how to live in you. And that's the bad part. They don't want to kill you. They just want to be a part of you. They don't want to kill you. They just learn how to kill you on accident. You got psychopathic bacteria like you got psychopathic humans. They need to take down your defenses. All right. Candy store was open in the mall. Tijuana yesterday. Priorities. That's right, Patricia. Because the candy man he got to sell his candy. He's got to live too. She got to live too. They'll sell you that carcinogen and they got to live like everybody else. That's why we're all sellouts. I don't blame them. I got bills to pay at a candy store. I'll be out there selling candy too. Be like, Mike and Ike's on sale, 2 for $1. Right? Again, everything we have to fight at the principal level. We need to stop with the side effects. Everything at the, ooh, yes, zombie. I was listening to Zombie this morning, Lori. Who was that? Cranberries? She tried to tell y'all, didn't she? She tried to tell y'all wasn't listening. She tried to tell you long time. What was her name? She tried to tell y'all back in the 80s. Zombie. Don't make me go find the lyrics for Zombie. I'll go find the lyrics. She told y'all a long time ago. Nobody listened. Nobody cared. How George Carlin says it. $1,000 isn't even one whole paycheck and covers maybe 2/3 of the month. rent for a bedroom in San Diego. But that's good, Patricia. That's good. It means it's not empowering to the Americans. You can't empower them. You need them to become happy slaves and teach them to learn to live within the means of $1,000 or $2,000. That's the design of it. Was quite surprised they mentioned and then focus on building up your immune system on last night's TV. Well, people are scared, citizen death. They're scared. I mean, they're scared. There is no, when we say they, there's no they. There's not a they. Like, there's no group or like individual cabals that are like orchestrating it all. Like, that doesn't exist. The they is a system. There's a whole bunch of theys all throughout the system, but it's just a system. And at different levels, they're all profiting. There are some pundits in the media who are like, oh snap. Now I see why we were handed down our talking points. Now I do realize that we have industries that make money giving people poison, turning off their immune system would make us susceptible to something as weak as the common flu. Oh boy. Oh boy. Jeez. Lord have mercy. I got my Benz and my BMW, and I've got a nice house and a family with kids, but I realize I've been a part of the Babylonian Empire. I realize I've been cheering the Fourth Reich, poisoning everybody, and this plague that's coming through, and it's so weak, it can only kill people with debilitated immune systems. All right, we got to figure out how to get in this broadcast, how to help people build up their immunity, or we're all gonna die, So I don't think that there's a they. I think you got different people all throughout, and all of them say a degree of the truth. It's like the Democrats and the Republicans. They all say a degree of the truth. They don't say the whole truth, but they'll say enough of the truth to keep people engaged. And I think that there are people within who are realizing how stupid we've been. And we built an entire world based on an unsustainable system of creating weak people, because the weak people are easier to govern. So I just see profiteering everywhere. It's like we're in a car and nobody's driving. Like, we're in a car and greed is driving. And it's coming from all levels, from the candy man in Tijuana, to the people on the news, to the Democrats, the Republicans fighting over which Lord and King is coming to save us the bestest and their underoos. Meg's got some drama going on down here. Where do you live? Stay safe, girl. Uh-oh. Yeah, you know what? We knew it was going to start popping off. That was my theory. I think it is going to pop off in certain areas, but that National Guard is slowly deploying. A lot of my downstairs neighbors are older because I live in a condo complex. I'm a bit worried someone may have died. Yeah, and that's happening, Megs. Well, they're people, they're not going to go to the doctor when they get sick. That's a problem. That's a problem. Just from a realistic, common sense, let's grow the hell up perspective, right? Me, if I start getting a fever, I start feeling sick, I don't want, to go to FEMA. I don't want to go and be in some camp, be tested on. And that's not even happening yet that we know of, right? That can happen. It is a possible outcome. But in reality is you got people around you who are dependent on you to do some of the things actually that government is telling you, right? To be mature enough to isolate yourself from the population. And we need to have enough love and respect for our neighbors that we say, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to go live in a cell till I die, or go on to be in a hospital room, because you can't even visit people in a hospital room. So they could be your husband's last day on earth and you don't get to go touch him, see him, or nothing. So that's even going on, which goes back to building this unsustainable world. We do have to have enough love or respect to go turn ourselves in and be beholden to whatever the system does. Or go walk out in the woods, find yourself a grizzly bear or something. But then again, don't do that, because that would suck too. Because what if it cultivates into the bear? Now the bears are passing it around. We built this unsustainable world, but we got to do what's right. Everybody's got to figure out what's right for them based on their particular circumstances. I don't know what's happening in Meg's area. I wasn't actually following. I'm going down in the comments. Surprising fact, the Stafford Act was a plot to point to the political series House of Cards used as a means to fund the jobs program with unemployment deemed an emergency. Trump was involved, or Trump just involved this. Okay. Sheepless in Seattle. Yeah, I don't really know anything about the Stafford Act. I can tell you that all laws are corrupt. All the laws are corrupt because they don't do what I mentioned before, which is, hey, we're a part of the citizens. Let's do things for them. We're an oligarchy. It's a requirement of the oligarchy to write laws that are profitable because that's a government in bed with corporations. So they're going to do exactly that. Doesn't surprise me. 2001 U.S. deaths from the C word I can't say, per the other C word I can't say. Lady Friday. Amazing how everybody knows somebody. I don't believe any of the statistics, Patricia. Like I mentioned, I don't believe any of the death statistics because nobody knows. Most people won't check themselves in. We don't know who has it. They say we never had enough tests to test for it. I don't believe any statistics. The bottom line is flu season. There's a flu that wants to live in you, and it wants to cultivate and become version 2.0 and kill everybody, or live with everybody, but end up killing everybody. Act like it's flu season. Don't worry about the statistics. Do what's right. Isolate yourself. Isolate from other people. Cover your mouth when you cough. Eat as much raw food as you can. Eat as much healthy vegetables as you can. Break open that hippie in the family and ask them, how do I live healthier? Stop eating processed foods. Pretty simple. What else we got? Antibody being developed to combat the cuckoo virus. Dr. Glansville. Thank you, Dr. Glansville. And I really don't care. Well, yeah, I do. I do and I don't. I think it's a good idea to find anything that combats it. I'm not interested in like a profit capital means or reason to fight it. I'm not interested in that. Now, if you were developing this antibody to give it away to help people who got it, I'd be 100% on board. I doubt that you are. Right now, you should be telling everybody to live healthier. Start boosting your immune system. Start eating less and taking less chemical drugs that are making things worse for your immune system. Right now is the time for doctors to stop cheering a pharmaceutical industry and AMA that made disease profitable. That's what it's time for. That's what it's time for. Not for finding a new reason to make money with a new thing you can make somebody pay. You know, at some point in time, we have to be a human race. At some point in time. How scientists are fighting the cuckoo virus pandemic. Yeah, I don't really care about that either. We know how to fight pandemics. It's by shutting off war. They're not doing that. So they don't really care. All right. It's by stopping poverty. They're not doing that. They don't really care. You know, so I'm not really interested in like the fake. I mean, you have real scientists who want to fight it, but we don't have a system that allows it to be fought. Not insignificant. The best among us do not run for office. Larry King, which he's right. He's right. Susan posted. Didn't you get in trouble for that? Susan posted that just yesterday. She just posted that. And she got in trouble for it. Which she was right. Let me go to, I'm gonna find that. Let me find that. She posted that. Oh, that was a great post. The best among us don't run. Because the people with our values actually don't run to be president. Hang on. You know what? Y'all tagged me in a whole bunch of stuff. I might not even be able to find Susan post. Okay. I'm not gonna go down. The point is the people with our values don't actually run for office. This was neat. Anybody read this book right here? This is like a Tony Smith rant type thingy. You are the placebo, making your mind matter. Mind over body has always been a thing. You are the placebo. Act like you're the placebo. Know that you aren't sick. Turn the TV off. It's going to keep telling you sick. It's going to give you the flu in your head, and you're going to think you got the cuckoo flu, and you're actually going to manifest it in your own body. I've noticed that kids with autism who don't have it through genetics get more sick often when the teachers have mentioned it. Well, yeah, we could have created which is really interesting, Susan, that you're actually saying that back at 10:36 a.m. and it's now, it's 11:46 a.m. It's exactly 1 hour off, and I just accidentally put that on the screen. placebo and nocebo effect. They are really a real thing. You should be researching them while the cuckoo virus is unfolding. Hippies will tell to turn on, tune in, and drop out. They are who are running the U.S. They become yuppies, then blah, 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 blah. Okay, it just passed. You know what? I gotta move down. I'm way up in comments. I'm going fast. There's a whole bunch of good stuff up here. I'm gonna miss it, but I'm like an hour behind you in comments. All right, I'm just gonna go all the way down. Oh, goodness gracious, that's a lot of conversation. It's Rebecca Costello. Hippies will tell to turn on, tune in, and drop out. They are who are running the U.S. They become yuppies. They didn't follow their own advice. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Right. Well, because at the core of it, they're kind of like the police. They're like doctors or anybody else. There were people who wanted to help. They got into office and they realized that this isn't about helping. And the few who really believed in what they stood for dropped out. The few police who believed in it, they left. And there are some who convinced themselves they can help in a system that's not designed to help. And they stuck around. So yeah, absolutely, totally agree. Oxygen is a corrosive substance, damages DNA, and that damage compromises the body's ability to rebuild itself at some point. Absolutely. Everything will kill you. Everything will kill you both fine. Everything in large and small quantities. Drink a lot of water, but if you drink too much, you'll die. It's absolutely true. But also, we're oxygenated creatures. Like, we're creatures of oxygen. We need oxygen. We die without it. Susan, I don't know where your post is. It's just way down here. I kind of don't want to give YouTube a shout. Oh, good Lord. I don't want to give YouTube a shout out. Tony Smith rant. There you go. I'm gonna start to wrap this up. I have a whole bunch of plants I need to get out in this sun that make fruits and vegetables. So yeah, but the whole point is the best among us don't run for office, and those who are like us get in office and they're either kicked out or they run out. Pressures grow for total lockdown in Florida. Of course they do, because the currency is being collapsed. And it's being done on the rightful fear of a very real virus that is only a problem because corporations run our government and poisoned everybody into not having immune systems. Teens fined $3,000 for riding dirt bikes on owned property. Okay, well, that's a part of the craziness. You know, I don't think that's related to what the topic is, but it's part of the craziness. Boom, bust, thrive, and fall. Okay, many funeral bells will toll in the coming weeks. Yes, Galloway. And many, many more in the future. Because this is a tool. It was a tool of the Allied powers, and it's also a tool of NATO. And they're utilizing it right now. There's no reason that it should be blowing up in Iran, other than the fact that they're utilizing it. Everything is disaster capitalism to people who need capital. Journalists trying to work while social distancing. I really don't care what the journalists are doing. Honestly, they're not journalists, they're just pundits. They're just puppets portraying a story that's getting us all killed. They're a part of this with everybody else, but they're a big part of it. Stephanie Beats does dancing boot camp for new musical In the Heights. That's more important than everything the media does. Teaching people how to dance. You know, dancing is important. Movement is important. We're human beings. We should never stop moving, except for when we're asleep, and we still move then. On contact, criminalization of rap. Okay, Eric Nielsen. Well, I think that's what we got down to yesterday, right? Oh, is that a UFO? U.S. Army refuses to release records about contract with Tom DeLonge's UFO.org. Oh, I want to see this. You know why I want to see this? One, because the free energy device is flying around on television. You can call it a UFO, but I think it's an IFO. It is an identified flying object. If we had free energy, we could grow food for everybody. We're just choosing not to do it. And two, I don't think Tom DeLonge is who you think he is. I don't think he's saying what you think he's saying. I don't think to the stars because it's supported by the U.S. government. I don't, and they got 1,000 energy patents that they're keeping from their public. I don't really think that these people are who you say they are. But free energy is a topic. Oh, let me touch on that, because would we have a cuckoo flu if they release free energy? If they let Nikola Tesla give everybody free energy, would we have a cuckoo flu? My answer is no. None of them. None of them. From cancer to leukemia to cardiovascular disease to any of the cuckoo flus. None of the cuckoo flus exist. Because if we weren't cuckoo and we let Nikola Tesla give everybody free energy, we wouldn't have work. If you didn't have work, you wouldn't be stressed. If you weren't stressed, you wouldn't cultivate disease, right? If you had free energy, we wouldn't have war. If you don't have war, then you don't have disease. You don't have governments using flus to create pandemics to fight their foes, which is what we're doing. If you had free energy and it finally was released, if you actually have a government that gave two damns about its citizens, you wouldn't have poverty. So you wouldn't be cultivating disease and poverty neither. That's why this is important. That's why there's nothing more important than the fact that somebody is flying a free energy device around the world where nobody has to work. How you feel right now? You just go to sleep and wake up the next morning and think about what you want to go do. That's how you should be living your life. Except for you shouldn't be locked in your room. You shouldn't have corporations and government, police, they told you to go to your room because you actually listened to them and watched the commercials and ate the food and took the drugs they told you to. If they released free energy, if we understood the concept of automation providing, we wouldn't be arguing over capitalism, communism, socialism. We'd know robots can do it. Automation, we would just say automationism. Let them go do all the heavy lifting and the hard work and free the human race. That's why in the end of this, I always end with Brother Pat Riley's song. You gotta free the human race.
This story is about UFOs, or at least it's UFO adjacent. So if you know me, then you know I'm psyched.
No, it's not. It's not about UFOs. The UFOs, they come and go. They start religions. They ain't been here in a minute. They pop around every now and then. Everything you see is United States Space Force, Russia Space Force, Chinese Space Force, and Canadian Space Force. They keep it from you through people like these Tom DeLonges and whatever, where they control the narrative. Now, it's so obvious that somebody's flying around these devices, they need to tell you that it's aliens or something else, anything other than them, because they don't want to cut you a check every month for $8,000. They want to cut you a check every month for $1,000.
Okay, so there's this organization called To the Stars Academy, or TTSA. It's a UFO hunting group, a serious group of people dedicated to researching and documenting any information we might be able to find out about UFOs, UFO technology, and aliens, by extension. So, I'm already a fan. But what makes TTSA even more fun is that it was founded by Tom DeLonge, one of the guys from the band Blink-182. Last year, TTSA contracted with the U.S. Army's Combat Capabilities Development and Command Organization. According to Vice, the contract indicates that the government is interested in studying stuff like inertial mass reduction, quantum communication, and active camouflage, or in other words, very alien-y scientific technology. The big thing they're interested in, apparently, is TTSA's Atom Project, which the government described as a global dragnet for the collection and evaluation of novel materials. The Atom Project is TTSA's attempt to have individuals and organizations submit materials from alleged exotic sources. So they are actively searching for anyone who might have stumbled across a hunk of rock from a strange composition, for example, that might have come from a crashed UFO, maybe. The government is apparently most interested in that part of their research, not necessarily stories about little green men, in order to find out about technologies that might be useful for the military. However, the research and reports related to the government contract are exempt from any Freedom of Information Act requests under Army Regulation 7057. Some people have tried to find out, but the government is keeping it all under wraps. According to Vice, the public can't know anything more about what the Army and TTSA are working on together because of corporate and commercial secrets, namely intellectual property and finances.
Namely, we need to keep you a slave. Namely, we don't want to show you the technology that we actually have. Namely, because we need to starve you into staying cattle with tags in your ears, fighting over identity and politics that don't mean a damn thing. Hell yeah, right there, she was Vice. Vice. Anything that gets big gets corrupt. When Vice was little, oh, they were fighting the power. They were raging against the machine. And Vice got bought out. Who did they get bought out by? It was some big media corporation. Vice. All right? They started pretty good. They were doing pretty good initially, early on. But once you get big and people trust them, once again, everything that gets big and it develops a blind following, they co-opt. And so all of this is just about controlling the narrative. They want to keep the slave plantation. They want people to believe that they have to have careers and provide for massive corporations and elite people instead of just living their own lives, right? They want to convince people that you have a government that can actually write you a check every month and thank you for being born in their country and act like you're a citizen.
So, we have no idea if they've found anything. All we're allowed to know, it seems, is that the government and TTSA are working together on researching alien tech for purposes we won't be told about.
Nope, because they don't respect you. People who keep secrets from you don't respect you. They barely like you. They're abusing you with deceit. And Deborah Chandler, right there, she knows she's talking. And this is the thing, is that people who come from military families, we're not as easy to fool. We're not in the general public. We all had parents who did things and a lot of them made no sense. That's the good thing about people in the military. They talk too damn much. Like, all right, sign this paper. This is top secret. You can't talk about this. You can't say nothing. Da, 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 da. And they don't do that. But before they die in their deathbed, Deborah Chandler, they tell everybody. They tell the son, the kids, the kitten, the dog, and the cats. Everything always is about hiding Greek fire. Everything is always about power and money. And government has more power and more money to keep things that are secret from its people that create power and money. The problem with people with information is they act human. They ask critical questions. Why are you starving people in New York City that live under the damn city? If you have free energy, if Nikola Tesla is right, how come I only get to sit at home during the cuckoo flu and not my entire life? Why am I sending my child to school to be indoctrinated, to be owned by a nation, to get a job and compete with other children out compete in like survival of the fittest, survivor, money, grade, degreeism, and the other poor children die? People ask critical questions when you give information, so you can't give them the information.
Which sounds like par for the course, because as we all know, the truth is most definitely out there. But unfortunately, the government will always do its best to keep it from us.
There you go. And I know you agree with that, Patricia. Patricia Hauser doesn't like her. I know you agree with that. Everybody says right. The broken clock is right twice a day. And we have to evolve past having government. Like if the cuckoo flu isn't a good example of why. We have to evolve past this. We got to grow up. We have to go back to being human beings and not like indoctrinated slaves. We got to stop being cattle. Ooh, this is why. Not only because we kill ourselves with lawnmowers and Twinkies and ho-ho cakes, but because the hippies saw it coming. Long time ago. They saw it and they tried to warn us that this is where things are going. Why? This is where things always go. Grow the hell up. Stop being a slave. You're not owned by anybody. Nobody owns your rights. And if anyone owns your rights, where they act like it, usually they're playing you. Usually they're treating you like you're cattle. And eventually, ooh, look at these people right here too. I'm just going through some pictures. I got to delete some stuff. And I'm gonna let it tell the story it needs to. But these are the people who actually own your world. They run your world. They keep fresh fruits and vegetables out your mouth so your immune system doesn't work too well, so you're easy to control. And they make money selling you things that make you susceptible to cuckoo flus and viruses. Let me delete that. I'm just cleaning up all the stuff that we've talked about. What's this? Because it fits right in with the cuckoo flu. All of this stuff is cuckoo flu industry stuff. That's right, get smart. They got that technology. They always keep it from you. And not only do they keep it from you, they use it against you. He's on the shoe phone. The shoe phone's not there to protect you, nor is the top secret spy agencies. They're there to control you. Get in the hot tub, which I'm not even gonna touch because that's gonna get me in trouble. Just believe in Ayurvedic medicine. They've been doing it for thousands of years. It works. Get in the hot tub, realize the hot tub is preventative, but it's not a cure like the big pharmaceutical industry tells you. And don't be cattle. This is one I want to end on with this one. Don't be cattle. If you act like you're cattle, you're always going to come down with mad cow disease. Why? Because eventually the farmer is going to lose respect for you, not going to take care of you. And eventually some super flu is gonna come through and kill all of you. You're a bull, you're not livestock. You're a god, you're not a slave. Hippie serving up some sauerkraut and elderberries. Yes, and Rhonda, I was checking my elderberries. I got, in front of my yard, I got mulberry. I got 2 big old mulberry trees, and I got elderberries. And I need to learn how to use it. Rhonda, I don't know how to use it. I know it's good for a couple things, the flower, and they bloom early. So I got a couple of them growing. They grow like a weed. These are things that you need to plant. I'm glad I actually grabbed it because the person I got it from doesn't live there anymore. We need to start planting and using medicinals. I'm gonna do comments and I'm gonna run. Hippies are out. Hippies are back in. Yes, they are. Hippies have become sexy. Hippies have become sexy again, which is a good thing. Social illusion or social isolation kills, and the government knows it. Yes, it does, Lori. Yes, it does. I have felt hippie-ish for 45 years. And to go back to what Lori's saying, isolation kills, right? Mental illness, locking people in their houses, depression, suicides will go up. People who need access to medicine and food, who are shut in, can't get there. Like everything, like dumb stuff. The mechanic is shut down. So now their cars can't be repaired. There are people who live alone who don't have neighbors and they only got one car. They can't get the car repaired. So now they can't get to the hospital. They can't get to get their medicine. They can't get to get the things. There's no question isolation kills. And the root problem is ignorance. Ignorance is the source of every cuckoo flu. You act cuckoo, you cuckooly give people power and money who should not have the power and money, who have proven to you generation after generation after generation, civilization after civilization, that they never have your best interests in mind. And you debate about which of the masters and the lords is coming to save you the best, which political party is going to do the best for you to save you from the cuckoo flu. We're cuckoo and we're all going to die if we don't grow up. Hyperbolic chambers are intense oxygen that heals wounds. Yes, it does, Lori. So I think Beaufont was just saying to the extreme that it is corrosive, can cause problems, but we're oxygenated creatures. Everything in balance. Hyperbaric chambers do save lives. No question about that. If we cared more about the human population, your government would have started manufacturing in mass hyperbaric chambers to give 20 of them to every damn hospital the minute this happened, instead of selling stocks. The Democrats and the Republicans. If they cared after they wrote you your check. But they didn't do that. But they're still manufacturing drones and tanks and bombs and bullets. Free sex of the hippies resulted in broken homes and plethora of STDs. Yes, Rebecca Costello. Only because different communities have their different dumbness. The hippies got some dumb. There's hippies and there's stippies. And it's a stupid idea to go breeding in populations of cattle that have all kind of diseases that are being cultivated with no immune systems. That's stupid. That's stupid. Being a hippie, going around sleeping with everybody that you can in a society full of people who don't have immune systems, is as dumb as voting and cheering a government that turned off everybody's immune systems and flus are still spreading across the planet. Common sense and critical thought. There are hippies that don't eat a vegetable going. They just call themselves hippies because they dance around the fire, got a guitar, and they just like being naked all the time. Y'all are going through the definitions. Hippies and dumpies. Agreed, Lori. Humans are a special species. We do better when we work together than in isolation. Absolutely. Absolutely. Susan said that, said to the Lord. When we work together as a collective, great things happen. When we fight each other, we're all going to die. It's just a matter of time. We continue to have competition for grades, capitalism, country, minerals, resources, and money. And we all die, we all eventually go extinct, or we act like a collective. We teach children they're supposed to work together from the very base of life instead of competing with others. We get rid of survival of the fittest, because it's always just survival of the luckiest, survival of the most croniest, corruptest, and laziest. That's what it always is. When you have when capital is the basis of your system, where there's any of the isms, it's not going to work. It always ends in our extinction. That's why I worry about all these older people who can't visit their families. For how long? This isolation is more deadly than the virus to them. Yes, it is, Trisha Blankenship, whose family's gonna be on Oak Island tonight, looking for the treasures. Isolation is a killer. There's no question. But they're okay with those people dying. That's really what it comes down to. They don't need all these people for the slave plantation. So I was telling my brother about eugenics to look it up. It was a real deal thing. The Rockefellers. It was one of the Rockefellers projects. They've been trying to call back the human population since Kings and Lords, and they still got that plan today. There's a lot of people they can live without. They don't have to pay retirement. They don't have to pay unemployment. They don't have to pay anything for people who die. So it's just a business decision at that point. It's not a conspiracy. It actually makes sense to let people die from an economic perspective if you have a capital-based system. Disaster capitalism always happens, and people only care about what's right in front of them. Solitary confinement causes schizophrenia. Ooh, go on, Lori. You would know. I wouldn't know. You're in that medical industry. I think everybody's schizophrenic. I do. I think everybody's on that spectrum. I think everybody I've met in my life is on that spectrum. I was told that because I talk to myself sometimes. Like, you on the spectrum? Yeah, I probably am, because I can't find nobody else to talk to. I love common sense from Gerard's witches. Yes, Lori, we got some phenomenal witches here. The funny thing is when they say things that actually just make sense, and you're like, damn it, how come I didn't know that? Like, how come I didn't know water gets rid of headaches? Like, I didn't even piece it together that your brain shrinks because it's dehydrated. Like anything does, it shrinks and it pulls at the nerves in your brain. It's not the source of every headache, but the source of most of them. I was like, damn, how do witches know? It's like, where do you witches get that from? Then I tell everybody else. I'm like, oh, you're so smart. How'd you know that? I got smart friends that I stick around them. Let me see. Isolation is the okay. Y'all still talking about isolation? Let me get down. I had the last couple comments. I had to go. I got plants to grow, but not the healthy eating kind. Yes, Kim, and let them garden until they physically can't. It's good for them. Let them be human, not sedentary. Oh, try Trisha. I'm saying your name wrong. Trisha. It's probably Trisha. Sadhguru actually does that. When you go to, what, is he the one who does it? No. I'm mixing the gurus up. Mixed guru. I don't know which gurus it, but they took over a hospital. And what they did is they forced people to work in the garden. Like they made everybody get up and everybody had to go work in the garden. It was somewhere in India. It was one of the Indian gurus. And I forgot the statistics, but it was unfathomable how many people who were sick laying in bed, but when they were forced to get outside in the sun and plant, they had people in wheelchairs and they were planting in like raised beds. People with crutches, but just getting them out in the sun, making them move and being in the sun, a significant portion of them were healed of their ailments. When you act human things happen. When you act like a synthetic creature with the mass media and commercials tell you what to do, pandemics and bad things happen. Fear kills, panic kills, isolation kills, lack of sunshine kills. Absolutely, Lori. Government kills, and that's the biggest killer, Lori. Because government uses all those things to kill you. You know, not that government's bad. Government is us. But it as a model is a system based in power, and killing people gives them more power. Newsflash, India in total lockdown. Yes, Deborah, it is. The whole world's in lockdown. They have to collapse every single currency. Whatever's happening, there's somebody is using this as a means to gain more power. Hippie movement, part of MK Ultra. Everything is a part of corruption, Sheepless in Seattle. The minute it gets big, they co-opt it. That's why you can't really be part of a movement. You can't be really part of a thing. You know, if it has a blind following where people don't question it, it'll always be corrupted. Same with the women's rights movement, same thing with the civil rights movement. Anything that gets big, same thing, big time right now with the word NATO. Anytime it gets big, people just trust it, they go with it, they blindly follow it, and it always ends up doing the most extreme things. Funny, the government is trying to shut down all of these vital things, Lori. It is planned. Trisha, I think a lot of this was planned, and a lot of it wasn't. I think some of it's barreling out of control, and others are just disaster capital and just different levels swooping in. People in the room looking outside and trying to shame those of us outside. Yes, Lori, but not for long. Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about it too long, Lori. You don't have to worry about it too long. You know, people who are inside watching their television, listening to what they're supposed to do, eating what's in the commercials and injecting themselves, they're not going to be laughing too long. Survival of the fittest never stopped. It just morphed. We are definitely still within the realms of survival of the fittest. If you are one who has critical thought and you question those who you have no reason to trust, you're going to survive longer. Being scared of death kills. Yes, it does. This is true, Beaufont. You can't be scared of death. Death comes to everybody. You can't outrun it. When, what's that Johnny Cash song? When the man comes around, the man is always coming around. The man don't ever take breaks. Grim Reaper, the man, he don't ever know he is employed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Can't be scared of him. When it's time for him to show up, the time is right. Don't be scared of it. Live your life. Live your life. Don't worry about the things that are outside of your control. That's how they control the human race, is through fear. You can't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. All right. How it's done. All of us have a heritage of survivors or wouldn't be here. Yes, Rebecca, it's within. That's why I don't like the saying the truth is out there. I think they got that from Mulder. I don't think the truth is out there. I think the truth is inside. I think everybody knows the truth on the inside. They're afraid to act on it. Supposedly your DNA quantumly communicates with itself. Kimberly, your DNA quantum is quantum entangled with the DNA of everybody on this planet. All the animals, the rocks, whatever's at the center of the earth, the crystals, everything. DNA don't ever shut up. You think I don't shut up? Oh no, you need to listen to DNA. Your DNA never stops talking. Right now, Kimberly Jackson, your DNA is talking to Hillary's DNA. It's talking to Sheepless in Seattle. It's conferring with Lori's. It's conferring with my DNA. It's figuring things out at the subconscious level, and some of it it'll release to your consciousness. Others it shows you in your sleep. But all of this, we're all connected at all times and all ways. DNA never, and thank goodness it doesn't. Right now, our DNA is in contact with everybody in Iran's DNA who are being sanctioned to death into creating a new Spanish flu, a black plague to murder everybody. But not everybody is in tune to that communication, Kimberly Jackson. Not everybody views the people in Iran as human beings. Some people agree with the television that they're dogs, that they have no sovereignty. They have no right to have the nuclear weapons that we have. Some people have fallen in and believe that crap, and some people don't. Some people who, and unfortunately, like they'll do it in a package of religion. Oh, they're Muslim, they're different. No, if you were born in Iran, you would not only be Iranian, but you would most likely be Muslim, Jewish, or Christian, which are the predominant religions there. We are all creatures of identity. We're all fools of birth and indoctrinated into bigotry and warring with each other, when in reality, we're all a part of the same energy, the same source, and we're all in constant contact. All the pain and aggression and starvation that Yemen's feeling with Iran and everybody else, from the ghetto to the trailer park to the barrio, it's all interconnected, and they're all feeling each other's psychopathy, pain, and oppression. That's the only way we survive. Is we all become one again. We are a collective. We know that energetically. We know that from all the religions. Is when we start to act like it. We stop doing this and actually start acting and performing the things that we say we believe. My granny stopped gardening, fishing, selling her products, etc. when my her hubby died. She was 80. The remaining 5 years of her life were miserable. She died in loneliness. Well, isn't there something, Lori, about growing old with people? When you grow old together, you start to look alike. You know, you're more quantumly entangled with the people you spend most time with, as opposed to people that you're a little further from. You're still quantumly entangled with everybody, but there's a relationship entangling thing that happens, whether it's in your nation, your community, or your house. And so you're mostly entangled with the people who are closest to you. And that's how it kind of works. When you've made your whole life about somebody else and you're growing old together and you're syncing up and your phases starting to morph and look like it, you got people who look like they're dogs and dogs who look like they're people. You know, when those people die, you give up your reason for living. It's kind of like plants. When you give over your plants, when you die, those plants are quick to die because there's a quantum entanglement that happens. And new technology goes to military first. That's one of our biggest problems. Military should be the last place we send new technology. Susan Jewell, thank you for that, Jewel. You reminded me to say it. We do have to keep reminding people about the whistleblowers in DARPA, right? There are very common sense reasons why we need to talk about IFOs, not UFOs, and Space Force, not aliens, and free energy, not spacecraft. Because they have all of that. And that's what the people in DARPA say. They have a very logical point that they make, which is we are in a Cold War mission state. The reason the cuckoo flu is going all over this planet, the latest one, is because we are in a Cold War mission statement. From all the political parties, all the laws, NATO, and the way all of this works together. You know, we are literally using wartime conditions to keep technology from citizens and people abroad. We're using a Cold War stance to do sanctions in Iran and make it a pandemic over there that could spread around the world and kill everybody. There's always technology that's held back from us, and it's those people we need to listen to. So absolutely, remember the people in DARPA. We have no idea the level of technology we're at. And there's something that I forgot, I keep forgetting the lady's name who wrote the book. There was something that was pretty scary in what they were saying, that the level of technology we're at, we basically alienated citizens. We think it's alien technology because we are so far behind what they have and can do that when we see it, it's indiscernible from aliens. That we literally paid for alien-like technology. And the reason people are seeing more alien activity isn't because it's aliens. It's because we don't even understand the level of technology that they have, because we've been so gaslit into thinking politicians are in control and fighting with other poor people. I trust the whistleblowers, like Deborah Chandler was saying. It's just a real deal. We live in a matrix. We live in a fantasy, false, lie of a world. Wait for it. There's a government that keeps secrets. The government that keeps secrets, something, both fine. We shouldn't have any more governments, and there can't be any more secrets. We need an open source planet. Absolutely open source everything. Yes, Sheepless in Seattle, everything gets usurped. Everything. And that's why I'm kind of, with the Q stuff. I think somebody told me most of what he said in the beginning was coming true. But once you got a blind following, it's going to get usurped. And that's just how these things go. It's coming, Beaufont. Get ready. What are y'all getting ready for? People that keep secrets and withhold information are lacking love. Absolutely. Nobody who has secrets from you is your friend. I think Lori's saying that. That's a master slave. As Chris Hedges put it, it's a master slave relationship. G's 4 felines of the apocalypse. Behold the pale cat. And the plant that rode him was okra and snot following. The 4 seals of the apocalypse. They damn right about that. You know what? We saw one of them seals, Jonathan. Somebody put some damn okra in my food, in my soup. Yeah, no, people know better, and they like to mess with me. That's no, I'm a vomit on your, in your car. You put okra in my soup again. My phone is my mom is 96 and tells me, I know you're telling the truth, so be careful. Oh, Jennifer, what did I miss? What truth? What is mom? That's all our moms. All of our moms is your mom. Everybody's mom is everybody's mom. And tells me, I know you're telling the truth, so be careful. Yeah, now is definitely a time to be careful. Absolutely. Even YouTube channels get usurped. Sheepless, all of them. All of them. All of them. The minute that we start trusting people, you break them. That's why I tell people all the time, Sheepless, don't trust me. You are crazy as hell. You're going to get me killed. Not killed, but kilt. This is K-I-L-T. Addressed, bent over, and done in the backside. Now, don't trust me. Have your critical thought question everything that comes from everybody. The minute you give a YouTube channeler an influencer or a commentator or a politician or a movement, a blind following, immediately whatever the unsustainable dark energy around this planet is usurps them. No question about it. Yep, that's right, grandma. Yes, Jennifer's grandmother loves her. That's why you listen to your elders. They don't hand down things that'll get you killed. Government tells you things that'll get you killed, like drink the water. You know, your grandparents they went through all that trouble and had your parents and had you and raised you and changed your diapers, did all that. People don't do all of that and then tell you something stupid that'll get you killed. Not most times. Government, they don't know you. They literally don't know. You're a tick in a database. They tell you stuff to get you killed all the time. They're not just because that's what they do for power, but that's what they've done since the beginning of time. We got great examples of it. Come on, I got no new subscribers today. Y'all got me all excited. I was like, oh, new subscribers. I got all excited watching the new subscribers on YouTube pop up. We had a subscriber apocalypse. I ain't seen nobody subscribe since yet. Was it something between my teeth? A little piece of okra or something? My dad had terrible nightmares when I was a kid. What in your head, Dad? I had terrible nightmares when I was a kid, Deborah Chandler. Deborah, the song Zombies played. I love Zombies. Zombie! You need to read the lyrics though. Very important. Are you deleting your videos? No, Christine, I'm not deleting they're deleting my videos. I don't have to try. I don't have to do it. I get pop-ups and they tell you, this one went down. That we gotta take that one off. That one. And that's part of the whole Facebook thing is done for me. YouTube saying they're gonna do it in mass. But yeah, I don't delete them. You know what I noticed, Christine, is a video will go out, and I think there are a lot of them they delete quietly. I'll go back and I can't get to them. They're not there. They delete them quietly. They'll like wait a week for it. And then, because I think most people see the videos later, they don't see them right up front. They don't see them live. And after a week, none of us are like watching, looking for our comments, trying to remember what Jonathan or Bofon or somebody said. And it's gone. It falls off the edge of the earth. They just delete it. And other ones, like I did that Bernie one a long time ago, and you try to reshare it, it won't let you. They just put a little tag on it that says goes against community violations or community standards. And I can't even send them around to people. My ex was in the same after 26 years in the Navy as a lieutenant commander. Yeah, the military knows. The biggest believer in something ain't right with technology we have is definitely people in the military. Ages varies. Let me see. I got him to smoke weed and then he spoke of what he went through in Vietnam. Oh, Lori. Yeah, and there's some people who say they went through things in Vietnam they'll never speak. I've got friends who served in the Gulf War who wake up and like choke the person next to them. Okra snot martinis. Yeah. What the hell y'all talking about? Smoothie martini. Yeah, smoothie martini, but you gotta take the alcohol out. You need raw, not too much alcohol. Here's one for y'all. When y'all want to kiss your honey, but your nose is kind of runny, you think it's funny, but it's not. Yeah, a social distancing, Deborah. Yeah, people need to cut it out. Here's a lie that people are telling themselves now. Oh, well, honey, if I got it, you got it. Don't you dare let somebody tell you that nonsense. They're going to get you killed. They might get it tomorrow. They might have just got it today. Oh, honey, you can eat after me. No, don't eat after nobody. Make sure nobody's preparing your food. Wash your hands. Make sure they wash their hands too. And y'all can go a week or two without kissing. Because you know what the problem is? Like, we laugh about it now. But what if down the road your husband or your wife dies from the flu? And you get tested and realize you had it too. And then you start to question, did I give them the flu? It's better to miss somebody for 2 weeks than for the next 20 years. Think about it. Think about it. There's common sense and then there's, I don't know, common core fallacy, common ridiculousness. Ridiculousness is this word, this phrase. Oh, if I got it, you probably already got it. You don't know that. Neither do they. You can be separated for a little while. And I know it's easy for me to say that. I live by myself. Knowing they were traumatized is sad too, though. Oh, trauma makes the world go round, Kimberly. That's how money's made. Giving people trauma, give them something to be scared of, give them the new sexy thing that they need to run from. My dad burned his uniform in World War II. My mom was disappointed, said he looked so good. Why did he burn it, Jennifer? You realize World War II was a scam, like World War I, like the Vietnam War, like the Korean War, like the Gulf War, like the New War, like the next war, like the Iranian War. You realize that they're things to murder people that we're connected to. Is that what he realized? Some realize it and some never do. They indoctrinate the military pretty hard. Probably harder than they do the kids in school. Life is a learning experience. It is, Lori, and we never learn all of it, and we never learn enough of it to tell anybody else what to do. That's what I believe. I believe that. In my town, 4 firefighters, 2 emergency medical technicians, and 1 paramedic were exposed, and nearly through their 2 weeks isolation, none have shown signs of cuckoo virus. Okay. Well, it's a flu that's coming through, Debs. That's why I think a lot of people are, again, agreeing to the point that there's a lot more going on that's being said. I became more hippie than my parents, raised on hippie music. That's a great thing, Kimberly Jackson. I don't defeat myself, I hug myself. That's good, Lori. Don't defeat the neighbors either. Life is not a competition, it's a learning experience. We never learn it all. Sleeping with anybody, you also pick up their bad spirits. Yeah, that's the thing, Rhonda. Laying down next to people is a dangerous thing. You want to reconsider who you entangle with in that close proximity. Abuse is rampant for kids. It is, Lori, because abuse is profitable nowadays. We have industries that are literally designed on treating it or the outcome of it, not preventing it. Everything needs to be prevention. Last couple things, and I'm gonna get out of here. Ooh, I was kind of hyping comments. My son was schizophrenic. It's a definitive thing, Lori, and that's what got me. I think my last Facebook hate speech. I said most Americans are mentally ill, and they are. They are. That's not hate speech. That's literal science. That is very true. We've made mental illness a profitable business, and so most people are mentally ill. But, you know, you can't say that. You're supposed to say, oh, this is normal. It's normal. It's normal that the average flu is spreading across a country and it's killing people that shouldn't have been killed because they should have had an immune system. They shouldn't have had a chronic illness. They shouldn't have had a doctor who told them it's normal to have a chronic illness for a lifetime, as opposed to a healer who helps them to heal it and get rid of it. MK Ultra also used rich people. Yeah, it did, Lord. My problem with MK Ultra is they didn't tell us everything. They only told us the chemical side. They kept that whole EMF electronic side classified. It declassified the unimportant part. And now we got 5G rolling out everywhere as a critical service during a pandemic. It's critical required staff to have 5G installers for schools, at least in California. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but I know that they said that for California. Gardening, planting is basically taking care of the earth, and the earth gives us back the connection to ourselves. It absolutely is, Susan. It's a very healthy thing to do. It's important. Earth connection is the best healing. Yes, it is, Christine. There are levels of entanglement, though, Gerard. It's most entangled with our own. Right, absolutely. Our kids, and yes, entangled with everybody too. Absolutely, we're entangled with everybody, but you're closely most entangled with the people closest to you. Like that maternal instinct, child to its mother, or even its father to some degree. When people feel agape for all, live in authenticity, gratitude, and positively, we're more in tune and entangled with all. Absolutely. Oh, Lord. You see the O word. Okra is G's quantum entangled cousins. No. Okra is literally the anti-God G thing. Okra is a horrible, nasty thing that I will only take if I need to vomit up the cuckoo virus. I'll take some more. I get the cuckoo virus. I'll put it in. If I get a stomach virus, I throw some okra down there and all of that stuff will come right up. But then that'll be like a biohazard. You got to burn it, the bag, in the house that I vomited up in. Nope, we don't do okra around here. No, 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 no. That's a horrible, horrible thing. It's not a vegetable. Don't plant none of that. Good point, Gerardian. No kissing for a couple's week. It's an important thing to do, Rebecca Costello. It's better to not kiss for 2 weeks than to regret something the rest of your life. Government ain't lying about that. They're not lying about social distancing. Do not take that. This is not a drill. You know, your immune system might be strong, theirs weak. Their immune system might be dealing with something right now, and yours not. You can kill somebody trying to show them some love. The systemic problem with having a for-profit corporation in bed with chemical companies pretending to be a government. 1871, the Act of 1871. Christine, the phone couldn't get it on the computer till I went through the phone. Why it worked? Okay, I'm not sure what y'all even talking about. Let's keep going. I'm almost down to the last couple of comments. I read a whole bunch of comments today. I'm proud of myself. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you didn't. Yep, G, my dad knew when he was on a ship going down and nobody stopped to help, afraid their boat might be targeted. Oh man, saw his fellow men drown. Jennifer, and I'm glad he told you that story, and I'm glad you told us that story. And that's what makes it all worth it. That's what makes it all worth it. We lose a lot of people in the war, but if the story never comes home, it's not worth it. Right? We lose a lot of people. As long as one person brings that story home and tells us the truth, war in no way is good for anything at all. It makes monsters of men, and it makes pandemics of flus. Nobody dies. If you tell the story of what people learn, no one's death is useless. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing that we learn and move forward and take the lessons forward from the veterans who fought and died and realized that this all was a lie and burn the uniform up. We need to flee the things that enslave the human race, and we need to stop making technologies to murder people in a time where you still got bacteria doing everything it can to murder us. That is a death. That is a piece of the evolutionary process. So perhaps it is falling from the sky, Brenda said. Anything can fall from the sky. We don't have access to fall from the sky email list. When the government needs to drop something from the sky, they never tell us. They just drop it. Housing is very pricey there in San Diego. Yes, it is, Lola Mar. You can't give everybody a house. Everybody has a house. They won't be creating pandemics and superflus and bugs. And the house prices will drop. And then people will be happy and they won't be fearful. People that are happy are hard to control. People with houses are hard to give fear and sickness. All right, I'm gonna get going. I got all of it right there. Whoop. Viruses are injected, but who knows? Yes, they are, Brenda. They absolutely are. Don't let anybody inject anything in you unless you know what it is. It's a violation of natural law, human rights, Constitution, Bill of Rights, and common damn sense. Dr. Bergen had good info, BP, CBD, DM drugs, because fibrotic lesions on the hugs make people get together, risk of CV. All right. Well, Kate, Kate, I think you were the one. You were the one who sent me the Italy doc. Oh man, that's beautiful. That was beautiful. Explaining that in Italy, they finally did the research and did the numbers, and the vast majority of people who got it had chronic illnesses. The vast majority of the people were on lifelong medications. The vast majority of the people were people who were being utilized as a profit model for big corporations. And it's not funny. No, Bofan, it's not. It's not at all. It's a scam. It's a literal scam. They literally scammed us into allowing a superflu to blow across our nation and take out people who have weakened immune systems because they were convinced by their chemical sales rep that it's okay and normal to have a disease your entire life and just keep buying from one of their crony industries. Absolutely. It's not funny at all. But that doc was important and even linked up with CVD. cardiovascular disease, right? Like that was the huge part. So the doctors who tell you got to take statin drugs the rest of your life, you got to take chemotherapy drugs, fighting inflammation. Literally, those people are at the highest risk right now of what's killing everybody. Think about that. The people at the highest risk of what's killing everybody are the people who trusted the corporations that are now developing the thing that's supposed to be helping you. Mad cow. Don't want to be a mad human. You want to be a smart human. You are a bull, not livestock. This drug, getting it going. Y'all have a great, great day. Make modern slavery stop. Enjoy your day. Plant your seeds. Build community. Go back to being sustainable and strong. You are not a cow. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
We can have this and more if we open up the doors. Well, what do you think about that? Do you want to free, boom, boom, free the people? Do you want to free, boom, boom, free the people and Mother Nature too? Close down all the zoos. Do you want to boom, 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 boom? Do you want to boom, 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 boom? Do you want to free,